And hello, everybody. Welcome to Awesomecast number 29. I am your host, Brendan Awesome, and here are my co-hosts. Please welcome to the channel my moderator, Solar Volodun. Say hi to the chat, Solar.
Hello, Chad. I'm glad to be here.
And my second co-host, you've seen him last week, John Gets Jolly, also known as John Gets Gaming. Please say hi to the audience, John.
I'm slightly less happy than Solar to be here, but still quite happy.
How? All right, and let us
being honest.
It has been quite an eventful last few days. Well, actually, it's been an eventful last few week. Actually, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got some Transformers. We've got the new Supergirl trailer. We got the god awful new Disney trailer, and we've got a lot to talk about. And first in the chat, we have Casual Chris. The Old Republic had an outline and potential for so much more great storytelling. I guess now Disney is going to do that, but ruin it. Well, they ruined their own initiative with the High Republic.
Yeah, they gave up on that. They're like, all right, nobody likes the High Republic. Just go to the Old Republic name. Try to leech off of it. Come on, guys. We need to get something out of this. We paid $4 billion.
And people keep trying to say it's a success.
Remember, I brought this up whenever people were doing their box office predictions for Mando and Grogu. I'm like, remember whenever it would have been crazy to say a Star Wars film makes less than $1 billion? Now it seems crazy to say it will make $1 billion. That shows the direction of the franchise. It was only 10 years ago, guys, that you would have been like, you're crazy, man. Of course it's going to make $1 billion.
Yeah, it's like we went from, this is going to be the next great great Star Wars project. Now it's, I hope this project fails.
Well, and as with Superman, you take 10 years of inflation into account and it makes that stat even worse. It's like, we haven't even changed the number. It should be easier to reach with the dollars being worth less. And yet now we can't even reach that, or half of it maybe with the next movie.
All right. Mecha G75, welcome to the stream. Arachnid Youth, welcome to the stream. Casual Chris, welcome. And
why didn't you read out Arachnid Youth's comment?
Because I'm trying not to have people come down on me.
It's kind of rude, I feel like.
Nah, there's like certain words I don't say purely because I know. Okay, let us start. Which should we start with? Supergirl or Fate of the Old Republic?
We can. I feel like, given your areas of expertise, we'll probably have more to say about the Old Republic, so maybe start with Supergirl and then leave ourselves as much time as we need for Old Republic.
Okay, I'm thinking I may have to mute the trailer, but because I have it fired up. I've got the IGN 21K versus 5K. What the hell? Why is it that often I can find it 21K on the IGN version? And then I got Screen Crush doing a trailer breakdown. So yeah, let's get this underway. Mute it because I really do not want to risk getting.
It's already got more dislikes in total than the Superman trailer does already.
Well, it does look considerably worse. Like, look at this. Like, first of all, we're bringing back crypto, for God's sake.
Oh, crypto. Everybody, it's just a get out of jail free card. It's like, what? You don't like cute puppies? It's like, no, I do, but it's kind of cheap to just throw them in a movie and expect no criticism.
Exactly. Like, I would love it if DC embraced the sillier side of themselves in a live action format, but this is not the way to go.
People also want to have it both ways. They're like, oh no, it's very deep and well written, but also it's just completely silly and you shouldn't criticize it at all. It's like, no, you got to pick one.
Supergirl just feels like a Guardians of the Galaxy reskin. That's literally what all of James Gunn's movies after Guardians of the Galaxy have been.
So the whole time they had their little like trailer tease things, and it was all her in that trench coat. And I was like, she better not be wearing that trench coat the whole movie. And then in one of the shots in this, they show her without it. And I'm like, okay, maybe the trench coat's okay, because it looks a little weird sometimes when she's flying. But yeah.
Well, she's got the damn Walkman from Star-Lord, so.
I did see some idiot like, why isn't she just using an iPhone? And meanwhile, they don't realize that doesn't get connected unless you download all the stuff to it, but nobody does that anymore. They're always streaming the music.
And of course, we got Crypto peeing on Superman. James Gunn really hates Superman. Because of course.
Oh, and she's doing the California girl voice in this scene. She's like doing the hungover bar. Good job, you got the paper. Good job, buddy. It's like,
this doesn't really.
People say like, oh, this captures the character. This is like one very specific version of the character from a very recent comic.
Written by Tom King.
Yeah, for like 60 years, she was not like this. So I don't know why James Gunn is so determined to skip to one very specific version that is like the most cliche version you could do at this point in time, because this is what we want. This is what Hollywood wants all women characters to be. It's just like, she's so rebellious and she's bucking all the gender in arms. Look at her go.
It's just like, again, the fact that Tom King, I believe, is I think he's an advisor on this movie, is like a serious red flag. I've known about that for a long while because, Tom King is not a great comic writer in the slightest. Like there was his movie, was it the Moving Target, Human Target series he wrote where he killed off Guy Gardner?
I don't even know the freaking comics that well. And even then, I trust experts who it's like, oh, hey, wait a minute. And I just know that all the stories that people cite, they'll be like, oh, it's like Woman of Tomorrow. I'm like, when's that from? I'm like, oh, like 2022, 2023. I'm like, okay, I know enough to know that the character's been around for a while because she was in the DC animated universe in the 90s. And they're like, oh, yeah, it goes back well before that. I'm just like, okay. So, like, why are we only scooping from, like, the last 3 to 5 years?
Because that's what stays, alive in the public's consciousness.
Well, the funny thing is that probably sold less than a bunch of the older stuff because the comics have fallen off so much as the decades have gone on. It's like, so if you really wanted like more popular stories that probably made the character popular in the first place,
just
you would
rip from the popular stuff. Tom King, didn't he write The Boys? No, that's Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis, and he doesn't hate superheroes. That's a common misconception.
Interesting.
Like, this doesn't really look like if I think Supergirl, I'm not thinking like space and crap like that. And apparently she's supposed to be considered like the fourth pillar of the DC universe. Like she's going to be one of the most important big players in James Gunn's DCU.
You can't have one that's that similar to another one. If you're going to have Superman be one of the pillars, it's like you can't have his derivative be the second pillar. That's like saying Batman and Robin are pillars. That wouldn't make any sense.
Also, I noticed a very distinct lack of her costume in this.
Yeah, she's always wearing the freaking trench coat. Other than like the one.
It's the freaking trench coat, the black t-shirt, and a very distinct lack of superpowers.
Yeah, me, because we can't write her too strong, even though we want her to be strong.
I'm willing to bet they're not even they're. If I swear, if they make a Lobo like the new 52 Lobo, I'm going to scream. Nope, it looks more like actual Lobo. But he's probably going to screw. Oh yeah, this was he sees the good in people. I see the truth, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's funny because I kind of liked how the costume looked in Superman, and yet in this, I feel like it looks a little awkward in that like floating shot, and even in some of the action. I don't know what it is.
It's probably the CGI.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't big on the David Cornswall suit. My main issue is the logo doesn't look like an S per se. It looks more like a diagonal stripe that's just cut across. Like it, but it's like I can see people liking it. It's not the worst suit in the world. I do think that goes to Henry Cavill. But overall, it's like, eh. From what I've heard about the movie, she's going to be portrayed as of course she is, because that's all Tom King knows how to write. PTSD people, because he can't get out of that freaking mindset himself.
It's like it's kind of like the easiest thing to write for an arc. It's just like, oh,
She's
she's all
traumatized, so
she's
she's
down
wasting
and
her
out
life away.
alcoholic, yeah. And now she's gonna like slightly get over it by the end, but probably still be party girl at the end.
Because characters can't really develop. Because it was like Superman's development was so shallow. Like his arc in the Superman movie was,
yeah, that was a half-assed.
and it
Yeah.
feels odd to me that we get a Superman movie this year, and now we're getting a Supergirl movie next year. It's like you get two movies based on very similar characters, like back to back. Like, say what you will about the MCU, they never really did that with their movies. You didn't get like two Captain America movies back to back. You didn't get two Iron Man movies back to back.
Well, it'd be more like if we did like a Steve Rogers, like a Captain America movie, and then we did like a Bucky Barnes movie for the second one in the universe, because it's like a slightly derivative character, but like attached to the other one so closely that it's not like she's hardly different. Like I get that she's a different character, but it's very odd to have two so closely related to start.
Exactly. This makes me hate Guardians of the Galaxy films. At this point, it's like James Gunn has ruined the comic book movies in general. Because it's like you get like maybe one outlier in the Batman, but every Superman movie every superhero movie has been trying to copy Guardians of the Galaxy's homework. And it's actually been coming out recently that James Gunn basically stole the credit for Guardians of the Galaxy. It wasn't even his idea.
Oh.
It was somebody else's, and he basically bullied her out of the project.
So that's kind of like Peyton is either his first or last name, but the director of the Ant-Man movies. And he took over on the first one for Edgar Wright, who kind of left because of creative differences with Marvel, which is AKA we couldn't agree on a story, so we fired him. So the first Ant-Man had a lot of like stylized stuff and sort of unique traits, and then
the second movie was very
well, and you could tell it was kind of stitched together too, because there was a lot of like the generic kind of Marvel humor in there as well. So it was sort of like the director that took over put in his stuff, and then the second movie was 100% MCU, and it was like, so I wonder if like James Gunn did a little bit of that with Guardians, where it's like, did he take over at some point and sort of like take a lot of material from somebody?
Yeah, else? It's starting to come out that he basically did. Yeah, where's like outside of flying and her heat vision, she's barely using any powers. And again, you're using the same logo to represent the movie. How is this not going to get confusing? I could literally just copy this and slap it anywhere, and people are going to say, "What is this old Superman poster doing up here?"
Yeah, I can see what you mean about it not looking like an S, because just looking at it like objectively without knowing the pre-context, it's basically just a yellow diamond with a little slash drawn through it.
Like it's rare, very rare when I see a Superman symbol that's redesigned that looks good, that still conveys, it's an S. Because I like the traditional logo. This just reminds me of like a sign, a road sign more. Because it really does not look like an S. It doesn't really convey Superman to me.
You're right. Now that you mention it,
yeah, it's because the top and bottom don't stand out as like part of an S, because
they're blending in with the top line and then the diagonal line right
even
here.
The parts that are supposed to be blank, like the bottom left, is not supposed to be part of the S, and it's barely thinner than the parts that are supposed to be part of the S.
Okay. Like the S should curl right and then kind of cross through here, but it doesn't do that.
Yeah, there should be a little space between where the red and but there's some yellow beneath it, because it really doesn't look like there's anything on the top or bottom. It just looks like it's part of the outline. It's a little odd. Like I always just kind of like went with the pre-context and just kind of knew what it was, but I've never kind of just looked at it on its own.
Oh Christ, is it from DC Kingdom Come?
Yeah, I've heard people say that since the Superman one was revealed. That it's a bit strange because it's kind of a new 52 costume with the collar, but then it's Kingdom Come with the symbol.
Okay, Solar, were you going to speak up? I'm sorry if we cut you off, bro.
I mean, like I said, I'm very casual when it comes to Marvel and DC, so there's not much I have to say about this.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, overall, this just does not look very good.
Solar, just Wiki Warrior it like the shills. Come on, man.
Come on, even if I don't know the most about Supergirl, I can tell that this is just not a good movie. And it's weird because the tagline is going to be truth, justice, whatever, when it's like you never use truth, justice in the American way in the original. Like,
yeah, you need a differentiator from Superman, but Superman was already getting away from that. So it just comes off as
they changed the motto to human way for that movie when they barely used it in the marketing, and it never shows up in the movie either. So it's like, what are you doing with that motto then?
Yeah, I don't even like that change. It doesn't even sound natural.
Any of the changes outside of truth, justice, and the American way is just bad.
It would be a lot bolder. Because I know what they're going to, we don't want to attach it to America. It's like, guess what? You'd probably do better at the international box office if you did. Like, I know what you're thinking, that it's going to hurt the marketing or whatever, but like, people don't get mad at James Bond movies if he says like, oh, for the Queen or whatever. Like nobody recognize that it's from a certain country. They're fine if you're proud of it.
Like, nobody complains about Alfred Pennyworth being from Britain.
True. Master Wayne.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Screen Crush so we can dissect this a lot more. Because
I'm sure that they'll be very objective and critical of it. Here's what I hear from every shill. I don't think I've seen these guys specifically, but every single one that I've seen, like whenever Grizzy and them cover these reactions, it's basically like, the such and such city of Crackadoon or whatever. They're always just like pointing out the fucking things that are in the trailer as if that like makes it a good movie if they just show locations from the comics. It's like it's Krypton.
It's like with the Spider-Verse movies. You show me a bunch of different Spider-Man references from media I understand. That doesn't make it a good movie. That means you're dangling nostalgia bait in front of my face. And I'm not going to fall for it.
It's kind of like if they made like a live action of like an anime and they just have a character do like their attacks from the anime. It's like, oh yeah, that makes it a 10 out of 10 movie. They got the references.
Oh yeah, there's a Gundam movie coming out, I heard.
Oh God. Like that could actually work because we made Pacific Rim, so you can do giant robots on the big screen. Like you can make the effects more believable if they're robotic already. But yeah, I doubt that they're going to get it right with the politics and everything.
And this is all of the Easter eggs, references, and little things you might have missed in the first trailer for Supergirl. Now,
oh my God, 57 Easter eggs.
This is the guy that had James Gunn on their podcast. He like stopped by and was like, I really love everything you guys put out because you lick my balls all the time. I love it.
James Gunn is literally ripping off he's taking a page out of Leslie Headland's book where she had like a sit down with some of the shills, but he's being much more shameless about it.
Yeah. This guy's going for the blockbuster vibe. I feel like between the blue polo with the little like videotape symbol on his polo there, and then he's got like the shelf of movies behind him. It seems very disingenuous, sir.
Why does Brandon think the Spider-Verse movies are bad? Dude, I could fulfill a whole hour of me going, okay, that's probably an exaggeration, but I plan on making several videos explaining why those movies are shit.
So I don't hate them mainly because they're kind of in one ear and out the other for me, but they're kind of like below average for me because it's way too busy on the animation. They're always talking very like the video games got this right. Whenever he's talking and he's swinging, he's like sounding strained and stuff. In the Spider-Verse movies, they're always like doing all these little quips and just like having casual conversations as like 50 million things are flying around the screen. I'm like, stop, take a breath. Calm down.
Like I've seen movies like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish that did that style a lot better because it's not as busy.
Yeah. No, that's exactly why, because they're trying to cram in all their references in the Spider-Verse. They got like 50 different multiverses, and it's like
Exactly.
your eyes are just darting all around the screen because you're like, what's even happening in this action sequence? And then yeah, they are very like reference heavy. Like people just like them because they'll flash like a Godzilla Spider-Man in the background for half a second. They're like, oh, they're the soy jack. They're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Now, this movie is a very faithful adaptation of what I think is one of the best superhero comics written in the past 20 years. So,
Congratulations, you're a fake DC fan in that case.
What is that costume in that? She's got she's got a golden chastity belt on.
That looks like that looks like she stole it from like the earlier renditions of Wonder Woman, like John Byrne's drawing for Wonder Woman. She has something like
that. Looks painful. It looks like the golden spike will be going right into her hoo-ha. If she like sits down and bends over a little bit, like that thing's gonna jam right in there. That's not looking comfortable.
And of course they had to like get rid of the skirt and all that because we have to hide the we have to hide the section. We can't let our women be sexy anymore.
I remember in the
And
Supergirl
skirts are a symbol of oppression because it's a patriarchy.
Well, I remember the friggin' Supergirl show did this where they switched to the pants in like season 4, and I didn't even really watch that show. I only saw her in the crossovers, but I watched season 1 in its entirety, and I remember thinking like, well, the writing and is crap, and it's way too long of a season for them to fill in with these storylines. But at least she looked like Supergirl. At least, she had the skirt. And she was pretty darn good looking in it. Melissa B. Moist, as people called her back then. And then, she pulled it off fairly well. And then they like had to do a costume change where she got pants and it looked horrible.
Like I remember because I only saw like the first season of The Flash and a little bit of was it the first, or I saw the first 2 seasons of Flash?
Well, Arrow was first, and then Flash started in season 2 of Arrow.
Yeah, and his suits I think got slightly better over time.
Flash, yeah, from what I remember, the first 2 seasons of Flash were pretty good, and then they had the writers move on to other things, and it took a pretty good nosedive. Yeah, and they kept repeating like it's a villain who's even faster than me. It was like got pretty repetitive by season 3, where they were like, another villain who's faster than the fastest man. Wow.
Power Girl's suit is peak. Yes, Power Girl is indeed like one of the more iconic suits in DC's catalog.
It's very problematic. Power Girl should not have the boob window. They should put a big P there because that looks so much better.
Oh, I'll stick a P in there, all right.
So we're going to talk about the comic, this film, and the characters they're introducing who could be part of a much bigger story that the DCU
oh,
is
God,
telling.
they re-edited that scene. I forgot.
Yeah, because he's trying to cram Peacemaker into the DCU, which that does make me wonder if it's going to also cram his Suicide Squad movie into it, meaning we'll have to be stuck with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn again. No.
James, I know you want your wife to like still be involved. You can just cast her in a new thing and decanonize Peacemaker. It's not that big of a deal.
He literally got Jason Momoa to do Lobo.
Yeah. It's like not that hard.
Wait, is he married to Margot Robbie?
No.
Or is it something else?
I don't think so. No, James Gunn is married to Harcourt in Peacemaker, the blonde.
Oh, yeah, that he likes watching his wife make out with other people.
Yeah, well, and that's like people yeah, cuck. And people were all like, "Oh, that's the reason why he wants Peacemaker to be because he's, it's nepotism. He doesn't want to fire his wife." I'm like, that's not like a problem. She can just play a different character, or she can play the same character and they just make a new property and decanonize that one.
Exactly.
It's not that hard.
I'll stick a P up there. Great. Thanks for the disgusting imagery. Hey, man, I got to get my chuckles in somehow.
I mean, they're already squeezed together. They're practically made for it.
Woo! I thought Supergirl was dead. Well, it's complicated. So let me explain a little bit of
Did he just make his dog talk? What the fuck?
Yeah.
you is telling. Right, I thought Supergirl was dead. Well, it's complicated. So let me
that voice. Why
it's a new Also, Supergirl, I thought Supergirl was it's a new continuity. How are you going to get confused?
Ooh, look, this is symbolism. She's breaking off the chains of the patriarchy.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say injustice.
Explain a little bit of Supergirl's history from the comics, because that's going to help me to explain the excellent comic book Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King and Bill Keaton.
You're shilling too hard.
The one fucking comic in the 60 years of her character that they ever reference.
Yeah, it's the only story that ever gets referenced by these idiots. It's like, it's not like she's had good stories beforehand, people.
I just love, like, this is how you detect fake fans if they all reference the same thing. Like,
it's either they reference the same thing or they reference stuff from like the last 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I'll always joke about it because, like, even with Superman, people are always like, oh, they don't get the character. Look at this one panel. And it's always like the one where he talks some girl off a ledge because she thinks that her therapist like was ignoring her, but really they were just late to their appointment for some other reason. And he like hugs her and says how important she is. I'm like, yeah, that's a nice scene. Why can't you guys ever pull up a different panel? Because it's always the same exact one. That's how I know.
Because they always have to rip, because it's always All-Star Superman.
Heavily. That comic is the basis for this movie. Supergirl first appeared in Action Comics 252 back in 1959.
I'm going to say it, though, that costume looks pretty bad, too. They needed to refine it a little bit.
It was the Silver Age. And some suits and a lot of DC costumes back then were like a little rough in the start, but they got better over time.
Yeah, usually the first one I usually figure is kind of a rough draft, especially back then when they were churning out comics and it's just like, we got to introduce a new character.
Like the original Batsuit was a little rough, but over time it's kind of gotten a lot better whenever they reuse it.
Well, and even this, it's like make the part below the belt red and it looks way better. And they did, like, eventually. It's so they, they were figuring things out.
All right, hang on. James Gunn's DC universe is screwed solely because it's using bits and pieces from Zack Snyder's universe. Hell, the Peacemaker show was supposed to serve as an explanation as to why that happened. But alas, they never actually explain why that weird-ass universe merge happened.
Yeah, they go into like the multiverse, and it takes them forever to figure out that it's it's the alt-right. They're here in this universe. And we needed to have a big gay orgy to start the series, the second season, for some reason.
My belief is like it basically was like they wanted to do Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then they just didn't. It's like, oh, these two universes merge now. Boom.
Otto Bender and Al Plastino. Her birth name is Kara Zor-El, and her cousin.
And her sole existence was so that no other company could basically use Supergirl and claim the rights. Because that was like the sole reason why Supergirl and a lot of these, women characters existed back in the day.
Batgirl, yeah, it's
actually no. Batgirl and Batwoman were so Batman and Robin couldn't be seen as gay with each other.
Robin, perhaps you could start wearing pants for once.
It took him until several decades and 2 Robins later for him to put pants on a Robin.
For some reason, I did the Adam West voice as Batman instead of the growly one that everybody does.
The Christian Bale one.
Is Superman, Kal-El, and like her cousin, she survived the explosion of Krypton, but in a much more horrific way. See, she's actually chronologically older than Superman. She remembered holding him when he was a baby. See, before Krypton exploded, her father, the engineer Zor-El, was able to save their entire city.
He's mansplaining to the audience.
I just love the horse peering over her shoulder in this.
All right, he was a love interest for her at some point because that's how bonkers it got.
The horse?
Yes, the horse is a sentient being.
Oh, God,
that's in love with her.
Well, they were just ahead of the curve with that because now modern women's novels are just them getting like plowed by, beasts and shit. So The DC writers were like, I know what these women want. Oh, that's interesting though. Daniel, so his dad had the very first Supergirl comic. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome, actually.
Damn. So he's a millionaire is what he's saying. Give some super chats.
Silver Age DC Comics is bonkers, man. Yeah, I am aware of how bonkers it gets.
Yeah.
I love Batman Brave and the Bold. I'd take that over the DCU any day of the week.
I know that from Death Battle, where they were naming all of Superman's feats whenever he was facing Goku, and they're like, he sneezed and destroyed a galaxy.
Argo City by placing a dome over it and launching it into space. However, the rigors of space slowly killed off all of her people. In the original stories, meteorites,
the conquistadors in space, they had little crosses on their chest.
I think they're supposed to be medical. No, yeah, they're medical.
Okay. Sorry, the bottom of their little medical cross was
it's a bit too long with this one guy.
Yeah.
The rigors of space slowly killed off all of her people. In the original stories, meteorites pierced their dome, but in the newer comics, the soil turned to kryptonite as they approached yellow suns. And
how the hell does that work?
The soil turned to... Isn't it called kryptonite just because it's part of their planet?
No, it's called... No, from what I'm aware, the idea is Krypton blows up and the remnants turn to kryptonite as a result and scatter across the galaxy, most of it ending up on Earth to be used as a plot device.
I always heard it was like the core was destabilizing and gonna blow up the planet is why it was going bad, not because it got close to a certain type of sun or whatever.
I thought it had to do with their sun exploding.
Oh, maybe.
I think it had to do with the sun exploding.
Well, and as he points out here, it's probably different in different continuities because I always went off the DC animated universe, like where Brainiac was basically being consulted by the Council of Krypton, and he kept telling him everything was fine. He's basically critical drinker. He was like, "Nah, it'll be fine."
Nah, it'll be fine.
And the Council of Krypton was like, well, we asked the AI. I don't know. We don't do any thinking for ourselves. It's weirdly, prophetic, guys.
City was floating adrift in space. So Kara was forced to watch her entire civilization die slowly in front of her, and she buried nearly everyone that she loved. Now, her dad did build her a rocket to escape to Earth, but because of suspended animation, she's just 16 when she lands and meets Superman.
Suspended animation. Like, I think she encounters a space anomaly that does it.
I thought she went to like the Phantom Zone or something and then emerged from it years later.
I think she encountered some sort of space anomaly and it happened. Yeah, this is the problem when DC changes everything like on a dime. You can bet this guy hasn't actually read any of the stories. I bet he just Googled it all.
He sets her up in a boarding school, and eventually she's adopted and officially becomes Supergirl. Now get this, Supergirl did die in Crisis on Infinite Earths issue 7.
Because the whole idea was they wanted Supergirl dead because they wanted to like have Superman be the only Kryptonian for a while, and that did not last long.
Was that before or after Superman died? Because I know that was like early 90s was when Superman died. I think that was in the 80s when Supergirl died, right?
Yes, it was around the 80s with the oh, look, Justin Everello, the guy who constantly keeps crashing out on my community posts.
Well, nothing's wrong with the comics that he's showing, Justin. I don't know. Nobody said anything was wrong with those. We just said they were pretty crazy, but that's not bad.
He doesn't see any problem. Yeah, and you don't believe that the EU is canon either, you idiot.
Exterminatus.
But I do agree. Superman the Animated Series, that's getting a lot of love in the comments. Completely agree with that.
I gotta watch that show.
Oh, the whole Bruce Timm animated universe is amazing. Started with Batman, then went into Superman, which is how the fucking movies should go, and then it jumped into Justice League, introduced a whole bunch of new characters.
I mean, I have my issues with the DCAU to an extent, and Bruce Timm as a person, but it's like it's great. Like I love BTAS. Like it has some great episodes. I literally shared a community post about it earlier this week. Okay, Crisis was 85, 86. Really? That late? Wow, they really had to work overtime then.
Yeah, I knew it was 80, or I was
Yeah,
pretty
because
sure it was 80s.
Superman does die in the 90s. My dad, I believe, collected that comic when it came out, and he also collected Nightfall.
Because I actually have read that one, and it is funny because like the animated movie of it involves all the regular Justice League members, like Wonder Woman, Hal Jordan,
Batman,
Martian Manhunter, Batman, and then in the comic, yeah, it has like I think it's Guy Gardner is the Green Lantern, and then it's like some warrior woman, but it's not Wonder Woman, and then it's like all these kind of like lamer superhero. It's like and even the video I was watching where they were showing like the scans of it was like Superman and the B team take on Doomsday. It was basically like the reason Superman died is because he didn't have any good support.
Mark issue, and the creators did this because they wanted to reboot the DC Comics universe and make Superman the only survivor of Krypton.
Now, Wonder Woman is showing her cleavage. Get it off my screen. It's so sexist. Now Supergirl has her legs showing and a tight costume.
It was the Justice League International. That was the team that was there. Yeah, so it would have been Guy Gardner, Blue Beetle. Batman would have been the leader. Who takes Guy Gardner out in one punch.
Look, this is going to be awkward because she might be dead in this shot, but I just got to say Supergirl is smoking here.
Yeah, I don't think it lasted very long that
Thank you.
I don't think it lasted long that Superman was the sole survivor of Krypton, because it was like the John Byrne Man of Steel run redefined him. I see some people trying to give it hate by saying, oh, it made Superman way too grounded. You know, it didn't introduce the more fantastical elements. And I'm like, that's fine. It still got like the core of the character right, and, you know, made his origin a lot less convoluted.
Yeah, and a lot of times you can work up to the more fantastical stuff. Like you start off more grounded, and then the longer a run goes, just kind of naturally, because you got to kind of top yourself each time. Like, this happens all the time with anime where they keep one continuity. Things get more and more crazy as a power creep. It goes up.
Like Batman. You know, Batman starts off a grounded crime fighter taking out crime families. Next minute, and then a few years later, he's stopping the Joker from poisoning all of Gotham. Or poisoning the entire Justice League because Joker is now way too damn OP.
Yeah, or Poison Ivy, like, starts making plants that swallow up the whole city.
Oh, it can't be Poison Ivy anymore. She's not a supervillain.
Oh, right. She has to be lesbians with Harley Quinn, who's also not a supervillain anymore.
Oh, no, she's back to being a supervillain.
Oh, okay. She's probably independent of Joker, though, right?
Yeah, and her costume sucks.
Can't have her be like a henchman or henchwoman and just be like any sort of subordinate to the Joker.
Later, a shape-shifting alien called Matrix took the form of Supergirl, but then in 2004, Jeff Loeb said enough is enough and brought back Kara Zor-El as the one and only Supergirl. Now
I've actually met Jeff Loeb at a convention.
There have been other reboots of the character over the years, but that's the gist of what you need to know leading up to this comic book, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Now, a
book you should totally never read because it's written by a hack. A depressed hack.
Was that her costume in Woman of Tomorrow? She had the trench coat and that.
It was an exceptional book
seconds ago.
Leading Girl. Now, there have been other reboots of the character over the years, but that's the gist of what you need to know.
Damn.
Yep. So she like barely has her costume showing because she looks like she's kind of vibing out here with her daggers because Superman uses like swords.
Like it kind of started in the 2000s and then died out, but then I think like mid 2010s they brought back we want the superhero costumes to look like, you know, something you can just slap together from normal parts. You have like the Burnside Batgirl costume, which is literally like a purple jumpsuit. You just slap a yellow bat symbol on it. It's like they don't want characters that look like superheroes anymore. Like there was that whole Marvel Avengers video game fiasco with the designs.
Well, those costumes, they always end up looking samey, because like even like Snyder did this a little bit too, where it all he made like the Flash all armory.
Like, why should the Flash have Flash's whole thing is he's got his costume in a ring. It should be like a spandex material.
Yeah, and I'll give the CW shows at least that much credit. They leaned into the camp mainly because they had to fill 20 something episodes every year. So they would do some one-offs where it was like more campy, but like they it created plot holes because the Flash was so OP compared to most of his villains.
You're
That
not
he
the Flash, Barry. We are.
yeah, he had to like intentionally nerf himself, but at least they leaned into like, oh, his costumes popping out of his ring, or he does this crazy punch like through 36 walls or whatever. It's like, all right, I'll give you credit whenever you lean into it like that. You're not like
Leading up
embarrassed.
to
Yeah.
this comic book, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Now, this is an exceptional book by the great Tom King, who is also an advisor for this new DC universe that James.
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
means the
yeah.
entire DC universe is shit. Because Tom King is going to be involved in like pretty much every project. I know Khalil's not here tonight, but I'm so sorry he's huffing the hopium.
He's like, James, you have to make the Flash more depressed, damn it. He ran too fast and he turned Iris into a paste. That's the beginning of the movie.
It's either they're going to do Barry or they're going to do Wally. Chances are they may end up doing Wally just to screw him over.
It'll be just like what's his face in The Boys, the speedster, A-Train, whenever he jellifies that chick in the beginning of the show. That'll be the beginning of the Flash movie, as he does that to like his girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever they choose to do, and it's just like, oh no, and then he's like drinking and he's like, I can't drink fast enough, my metabolism gets rid of the alcohol. I'm more depressed now.
Gunn has created. The book is narrated by a woman called Ruthie, who is also seen in the trailer. Ruthie's
it's the
father
chick with the sword, right?
Which chick with the sword? There's probably going to be a billion.
In the trailer, she's like, oh, how was Krypton? I bet it was pretty depressing. Tell me all about it.
They're probably going to make Supergirl lesbian.
That'll be her tragic story. She's like, oh, let's scissor, and then she crushes the chick with her legs. She's like, no.
They'd have to do it on a red sun planet because
I'll never use my powers again. Or we got to do it. You got to put some kryptonite in our double dildo.
By a man named Krim of the Yellow Hills, and she wants to hire a mercenary to bring him to justice.
So it's True Grit?
Yes, this story is True Grit in space.
What are you doing with it?
What?
Dispatch, a game I played recently, actually did it fairly well with a guy who voiced his dog, but he did it like sort of ironically. He was like, my name's Beef and I'm naked. It's like some hot chick was petting, and she's like, no, he doesn't sound like that. But it was like comedically done there. This guy, he's actually like seriously doing it.
He's trying to do it where he has like a character on the. It's like when Nostalgia Crypt plays a different character.
he does Casper, and he's like, timing. That's an old one.
Well, I intend to kill Tom Chaney with it.
But there's a wrinkle here. Ruthie and Krim run across Supergirl, who is on this other planet to get drunk for her birthday. Like we saw in Superman.
Yeah, because that has never been, part of Supergirl's personality to pass. She doesn't really get drunk.
Yep. People are like, I saw a post about it where it was like, Supergirl for 60 years is like a jovial superheroine, and then like Supergirl in one night in 2022 or whatever like gets drunk, and then Supergirl from then on isn't drunk, and then she gets drunk in the trailer, and they're like, oh, that's exactly her character. It's like yeah, once.
And that's going to be the version that not only are they going to use for this movie, but that's going to be the public perception of Supergirl going forward for the next few years. Because I actually was reading up on the Linda Danvers version of Supergirl, the one from Post Crisis, when she got killed off and then she was later brought back. She actually was fighting demons, and she was presented as like an angel of fire or something like that. Like they were doing stuff to make her different from Superman. Superman deals with villains like Parasite, Lex Luthor, Darkseid, and she's fighting literal freaking demons.
Well, and
because her whole thing was she was a Christian.
Oh, well, you can't have that. But also, a lot of the traits that they could give her that I feel like fit her, unsure, a little bit immature, maybe kind of like brash, emotional. It's a bunch of stuff that you cannot associate with women now because it's problematic. So they're like, they handcuff themselves on the story. They're like, oh fuck, how can we make a Supergirl movie and make her distinct from Superman, but also not give her any of these traits that we're not allowed to give to any women characters now?
So they're just going to turn her into a drunk party girl.
Yeah, and that's good. Those were the craziest posts that I saw in relation to this trailer, where people were like, oh, it'll be great and iconic for young women. I'm just like, what, really? Based on what that you just saw, you're gonna say that? She's like a fucking drunk layabout.
I freaking hate it when women can't be women anymore.
Oh,
Like, I am not looking forward to the Super Mario Galaxy movie at all, because I know they're never going to make Princess Peach a damsel in distress ever again.
or like baking a cake for him or anything like that. She does all the cutesy stuff.
Yeah, she can't be Princess Peach anymore. It's why I've been on a Nintendo boycott for the last year or two.
I'm one of the weirdos that bought a Wii U and then never bought a Switch.
I have a Switch and I don't intend to ever play it again.
Might be very unique if you know the install bases of those two systems, but as soon as I was out of college and wasn't able to play like 4-player, local multiplayer all the time, I was like, wow, a lot of these games get a lot worse when you're just playing by yourself. Like Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart, they're really not that fun unless you have people locally to play with.
Exactly. Like Mario Kart is just whatever. It's not like Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. That game is a lot of fun even when you're by yourself, because at least there's a freaking campaign to work towards.
Yeah.
Emulations for the
To
win.
go and party. On other planets with red suns. Because of our metabolism, you can't get drunk on a planet with a yellow sun.
I feel like Superman's being irresponsible for not trying to look after her, considering, she's one of the last of his kin.
Well, no, because Superman is just as serious or just as aloof as he needs to be for whatever's seen in that movie. Because for like 9/10 of the movie, he's like, "Oh, geez, guys, hey, don't do that to the animal." And then the other parts, he's like, "No, it's super serious all of a sudden." It's just like, Superman, pick a freaking lane, man.
Or like the embarrassing scene where he's losing it in front of Lois Lane in the interview.
God, so easily triggered.
They just did not. James Gunn cannot write Superman for crap.
And they're trying to have a good conversation, and in the background there's like the comedic, like, Green Lantern hitting the orb thing in the back as they're is it like a bunch of people are probably dying and he's just like, I don't know, let's make
that monster also comes kind of out of nowhere and fits nowhere into the plot ever.
But it's goofy. Look, it's in the background. It's so goofy because James Gunn, and we need to like, people get on fucking Taika Waititi about this, and for some reason James Gunn gets a pass. It's like, and I'm not giving Taika Waititi a pass. I'm saying insult them both, because he can't have a serious scene. He's got to have a comedic undercut to everything. And
everyone's been copying off that style, like Infinity War, Endgame, every movie that come after like the I think Guardians couldn't have like a serious scene. It always had to be jokey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the Black Panther movies also did that.
That's why it's so refreshing. Like I play Final Fantasy 16 and it's like two characters talking and they have like a, just kind of a low key emotional conversation where they're just they're not speaking super fast or anything. They're just like revealing things about themselves. And I'm just like, oh, this is kind of nice. I can just kind of relax and listen to these characters develop. And they're not like trying to outquip each other or go, we're getting so emotional right now. Am I right?
Like they even do that with like Spider-Man Edge of Time. Even with all the craziness going on, you do have good scenes of Miguel and Peter talking to each other like normal guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even whenever you do humor, you can do it kind of in world, in character where it makes sense. Like in Claire Obscure, there was a scene it's freaking hilarious because they established this one guy loves fighting and he's like, I will never go into the fray with you again. And he's like, well, that's fair, but there will be lots of fighting, you say? Yes, lots of fighting. And it's just like, and they go back and forth, and he's like, fine, I'll go with you. Good. And
with
like,
the red
oh
sun, Kara has no power, so she has no resistance to alcohol and she can get drunk. And she wants to get drunk because she's tormented with PTSD from surviving the Holocaust of her people. But how
far into her career would this be, though?
Yeah, so I think she's 20 something. She's at least 23 in the trailer. I don't know how old she is in this story, but it's a few years past when she's first landed on Earth if she landed at like 16.
Like, I get there's something like Batman who experienced this trauma as a child,
Mm-hmm.
but Supergirl, I don't think really had. I think she only did it as a teenager.
Yeah. And
So it's like, I don't think she would be as traumatized, especially because she has a lot of people to fall back on. Batman doesn't really have anyone.
yeah. Yeah, he kind of that's kind of a big thing with his character is he pushes people away kind of emotionally. That's why he falls for crazy bitches like Catwoman.
Oh, they ruined Catwoman so hard that it gets to a point where I'm like, what do you see in her? Like, throw her ass in jail already.
But her ass is so nice.
Get your foot out of the utility belt.
In spite of this, she has an inherent goodness throughout the book that inspires Ruth.
Look how close they are. They're totally going to smooch.
Oh, what the hell? Is she giving her a piggyback ride? What?
I'm going to hold my hands here, and these hands can turn coal into diamonds, so they're not going to let go. I'm going to keep you safe. Oh, that's totally not going to be reinterpreted as, oh, I'm totally going to keep you safe in the bedroom.
Turn your nipples into diamonds. Anyway. Hey, why'd you just like the video?
Now there's more to it than that, which we'll talk about as we go through the trailer. Hey, person, I got you a present. Oh, thank you, Doug. It's a picture of you.
Oh, God.
It's even called Doug, like Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic. What is this skit?
This is him doing an ad read.
Oh.
Yours in time for the holidays. And also, so let's break this trailer down. The official synopsis says that Kara Zor-El...
You know, that Supergirl synopsis thing was kind of a waste of time. For the audience, not us. We're having a blast here.
So what is it? A synopsis? His previous part was just a synopsis of the character in general. So because now he's reading a synopsis of, I think, the trailer.
He's going to make up a bunch of bullcrap.
Is forced against her will to team up with an unlikely companion, probably Ruthie, after a ruthless enemy threatens her. Together, they go on an epic cosmic journey where Kara must, quote, confront her origins to find her own path as a hero. Now,
confront her origins and find her what?
She knows more about her origins than Superman does.
Or Batman. I mean, hell, Batman half the time doesn't even catch the killer.
Well, I just mean as far as like carving her own path, it's like, well, who's she most similar to that she would need to carve her own path? Well, it's Superman. It's like, okay, well, you're older than him. You experienced Krypton a lot more. You're a woman, which that does make an inherent difference. I know people don't like to say that now, but there's a biological difference there where you're going to act a little differently.
Exactly.
So yeah, you kind of have your own image already, just kind of inherently, and based on your upbringing, which was very different from his. So nature and nurture, you got different.
That part is interesting because that's not really part of the original comic. I think that in this movie, we're actually going to see Kara struggle with all of her trauma. So maybe it's...
Or maybe we're just going to watch her get drunk for an hour.
My trauma. I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be like, I don't know how long the movie is. We'll say it's if it's an hour and 45, it's going to be like, okay, we're going to do an hour 15 of she's drunk and she's aloof and she's above it all and she's all like detached emotionally and stuff. And then there'll be one scene where they're like, hey, Kara, you know what? It's real like cool to care and stuff. And she's like, oh my God, other woman, you totally inspired me just now. Now I will change for the final act. And now I will be the hero that I am to be. And all the shows will go, oh my God, what a character arc. She changed in that one scene. Let's all quote that one line as if it's like been a steadily developing character throughout the movie. Because that's what they did in Superman.
It was like the ending scene where he has the, I'm playing footage of my event. When I saw that, I was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay, then I guess.
On the Pa Kent scene that everybody references, it's like, oh, it's the best scene in the movie. I'm like, Yeah, that could have been a good scene if they had had any of the build up to that payoff. Like they
Because the
skipped straight
Kens
to
only
the
show up
payoff.
in one scene prior. They're only in like 2 scenes in the entire film.
Yeah, and it's not a build up scene. It's not like they're having a serious emotional conversation. That it's them yelling into the phone for a comedic beat. So it's like you've had zero development of those characters. You're kind of relying on past movies and different continuities to say like, oh, well, of course you know the Kents, like whatever. It's like, no, I don't know them in this movie. You got to develop them in this movie. I'm sorry, you don't
Yet
get.
I'm
credit
the
for the other
crazy one
movies.
for disliking me. Yet I'm the crazy one for not liking Superman 2025.
Oh,
I gotta go now. Thanks for having me. You're welcome, Mecha G75. See you later.
it's Mecha Gojira.
At some point, she has to return to whatever's left of Argo City for something that will save the day, that will then bring her story full circle and offer her some kind of emotional catharsis. So we start with Kara, living in what I think is the ship she uses to travel to Red Sun planets. Crypto is sniffing at a vinyl record player, kickstarting the trailer song Call Me.
You know, it is going to get to a bit where having these people using retro technology is just going to get old.
Oh, it's already gotten way played out.
Yeah. Again, they're just it's James Gunn's bit. They're always going to use retro technology. They can never, for the love of God, use something a little more modern, like something from the 2000s. Like, I get there's, they still make record players and all that to this day, but it's like, it always has to look like it came out of the 1980s. It doesn't look like, a modern refurbished record player or anything like that.
Well, and like with Star-Lord, it sort of makes sense. Okay, he was kidnapped in the 80s, so, him wanting to use old technology and only having that thing from that time.
And having a connection to his music because of his mom.
Mm-hmm. With Supergirl, though, who was on Krypton, where assuming they were a futuristic tech, like the whole retro vibe doesn't fit nearly as much here.
Which
Like,
I'll talk.
she would have like an iPod because it could store a bunch of music, or a Zune or whatever. It could store a bunch of music and she could carry it locally and all that sort of shit. Instead, it's like, nah, just give her the Walkman too. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
This is just gonna
About in a minute. Now, Crypto follows the spilled alcohol to a trap door where the ship's engineering guts are, which is similar to the mechanics of the Millennium Falcon.
Screw you.
A smoking thing out of the floor does not make it the same as the Millennium Falcon. Like, how shallow are you where you're like, it's smoke coming from the floor of a ship, therefore Millennium Falcon.
These shields have to like stretch the list out so far, like 57 Easter eggs in one trailer.
This is like me
a
going
teaser
like,
trailer.
Oh,
it's not even
wearing,
like a full trailer.
Hey, she's wearing sunglasses indoors. That's clearly a reference to the Critical Drinker.
And she drinks a lot of booze.
Yeah,
I love that
the connections are clear. I don't know how anybody could deny this.
Door where the ship's engineering guts are, which is similar to the mechanics of the Millennium Falcon. So I love that the trailer starts with Crypto, the only main character to return from the setup film, Superman.
Oh, of course you love the fact that freaking Crypto's back. It's going to get to the point that the DCU is going to make me hate Crypto. Oof. And I never want to see him again for another few years. Again, this is coming from someone who loves the goofier DC side.
It's just a cheap ploy to try to avoid. It's Teflon. It's like, oh, you can't criticize us. Look, cute dog. Do you hate cute dog?
It's like the porgs or the stupid animals from Predator Badlands. Distract them with something. It's the Minion syndrome almost.
Yeah, it's like, these are fun. Do you hate fun?
Remember, it turned out that Crypto was her dog, and they were reunited at the end of the movie.
Oh, I've never liked the fact that Crypto is now her dog. I think it fits more that Crypto is Superman's dog.
I see so many cringe posts with this scene. It's like, oh, I'll never fix her. She can step all over me. Oh, fucking soy boys.
Like, she looks fine. She's not the prettiest Supergirl I've ever seen, but
no, more in reference with how she acts, where they're like, oh, I won't fix anything about her. It's like, well, no, if she's drunk and stumbling around and like not has any purpose in life, that's probably a bad thing.
Not to mention the fact that if she's drunk and she can crush you without hardly any effort, I think you may want to fix something.
Yeah, she just smashed through Superman's fucking roof. So she's already messing shit up.
Where's my dog?
Crypto pees on a copy of the Daily Planet with 2 articles of note here. Superman, the big marquee hero, saves the nuclear power plant, while Supergirl gets lauded for saving a cat from a tree, which, by the way, this is taken from an actual scene in Superman 78. So maybe this is showing that
the
on
cat
Earth,
in the tree. Are you kidding me? You've never heard of the cat in the tree thing before?
Trope.
That's
I mean, it's a trope that's been referenced many times. The Captain Underpants movie referenced it.
There's literally a trope called the save the cat trope. It's like to establish your hero as a hero, you have them save a cat or an equivalent like nice thing, nice little act.
You know, the friendly neighborhood hero who watches out for the common man. They don't just focus on like the bigger intergalactic threats.
Yeah, like Spider-Man helps a guy get to his appointment fast or whatever. It's like, oh, he did the save the cat moment. It's like
she just isn't as respected as her cousin. No wonder
because she's the knockoff or the derivative.
Well, and she's probably
also
not
because of her
respected
behavior,
because of her actions. Yeah, it's like, they're just judging her because she's a woman, and also she's drunk and breaks things all the time.
Also, of course, peeing on Superman,
Yeah.
This totally doesn't reflect on how James Gunn feels about Superman.
He's like, I totally love Superman, guys, but we needed to pee on him for this movie.
Crypto.
Yeah, the Daily Planet isn't bad, but the Gotham Gazette uses really thick paper. It's more observant.
Good to know. Then she compliments him.
Oh my God, don't make
that
a reference
voice.
to... And that joke.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time.
Which shows us that she is really living in squalor, which tells the
Her
audience that she is
voice.
not some...
Even like the hottest one, Sydney Sweeney does that voice sometimes in like the jeans ad and shit. And even then it's annoying. You really can't have it as like the opening character thing for your
I'm wondering, would Sydney Sweeney have made a good Supergirl?
Oh, I think so. I think people always are fan casting her as Power Girl, who's literally like an alternate universe version of Supergirl. So
like, I think she did. I think she was perfectly cast for playing Julia Carpenter and Madame Web. She just needed a good script and maybe a better costume.
she's fine in very like basic roles. I'm not gonna lie and say I've seen her like wow me with any like crazy acting turns. I haven't seen that Christie movie, which is apparently her Oscar bait kind of deal. But I saw her in White Lotus where she was playing like an above it all teenager kind of girl, which she probably wasn't that many years removed from. So she played that well. And then Anyone But You, it's like a basic rom-com, like she was good in that, fine. So she probably could play this character well because it's like drunken party girl, which she does fairly often.
All right.
Goody all-American do-gooder like her cousin. She is getting...
Superman's just a wuss. He constantly needs to get his ass saved by somebody.
He wasn't really an all-American do-gooder. He was kind of like a little bit selfish in the James Gunn version.
Like he goes to go stop a war, completely not, thinking of the consequences of it. The fact that he could start an intercontinental crisis.
Oh, no, it's fine because Hawk Girl can just kill the same leader that they were all mad at him for even doing anything.
Oh God, that pissed me off. Like, first of all, that entire scene is one of the worst in the film. It's poorly shot. Like that one gif that they're showing of her face, like the close up of her face.
The fisheye lens where it's like,
yeah. Like, the thing is, I don't think she was cast very well in the role. She was way too short. She doesn't look that intimidating. The mask just didn't look very good. It looked very ridiculous on her, and that scream just wasn't doing her any favors.
Yeah, I don't get the scream. People are like, well, she's a Hawk Girl.
But they never do that. Hawkman has never done that. I have never seen a case of Hawkman doing that.
The Justice League cartoon, they have Hawk Girl as a main character. She's one of the main.
I love that interpretation of her.
Yeah, and she does it like whenever she's swinging her mace, she'll go like "ha!" Like that's the closest that we ever got. But that makes sense because she's grunting with effort. But she's not just flying around going. Ee!
And there was actually was smiling when she killed the dude. Like, sadistic much.
Well, and they established throughout the whole movie, they're like, you can't solve this so simply. You can't just get rid of this guy. It's very political. It's very complicated.
And then just drop him and
Yeah.
boom.
It's just like, well, I'm not Superman. I'm like, so it was only bad if Superman did it? I feel like that would
It's
be
like,
equally
even
bad
if
if
you're going
anybody did it.
Like, even if you're going to say there were, he had ties to Lex Luthor and they had evidence because of that stupid girl who was taking selfies and was secretly like taking pictures of Lex's plans. It's like, you probably want this guy to testify.
Yeah,
like,
he'd be so much more useful. He was like literally inside of Luthor's like portals and stuff and all that.
And you had him dead to rights. You had him in your grasp. Don't let go.
You destroyed his army. Like, that's literally the time to just get him to sing.
Loaded at a bar, and the empty shot glasses let us know that she has been at this a while, and even called to mind the drunken arm wrestling scene from Raiders.
How the hell does this reference Raiders of the Lost Ark?
It's a woman drinking alcohol, so I guess it's the same.
But it's not even a drinking contest.
The Lost Ark. The bar even has a few fun Earth amenities like the disco ball and this alien jukebox.
Because of course, we can't be that imaginative anymore.
Yeah, he's just not that creative, I think, is the only reason for that. It's just like, oh, well, what's
disco
in the bar?
ball,
Jukebox,
alien
disco
planet.
Ball. Yeah.
Disco apparently never died, according to James Gunn.
But it's an alien planet, James. He's like, yeah.
Oh God, I cannot wait to see him screw up Batman. Assuming he even gets that far.
God,
because I know he's going to. I think he's going to use Damian Wayne as the Robin for that one.
That early, he's going to do all this shit from the past 5 years and just be like, oh yeah, we're just going to skip straight to that. We don't need a universe.
Yeah, we're gonna skip right to Batman getting graped by Talia al Ghul and having a kid.
In Talia's defense, Batman's protest is probably like, oh no. Ooh.
No, he got drugged.
Wait, that really happened?
Yeah, he gets drugged by Top. It all had to do with the fact that Grant Morrison misremembered the events of another comic. Because in the original comic, Batman's Son of the Demon, it turns out that Batman and Talia are technically married. Because so apparently Batman agrees to become Ra's successor to help him with something, to take down a bigger enemy. And apparently it's revealed that Batman is married to Talia because of some tradition, where it only requires the consent of one individual. And, they consummate their marriage, but both parties are willing. And she ends up conceiving a son. But the problem is, throughout the book, she's worried because Batman is constantly worried about her and getting injured as a result. So she gives the baby away to someone else and lies to him about having a miscarriage.
Oh.
Well, years later, Grant Morrison was writing the Batman books. He misremembers that scene and has it that Talia grapes Batman by drugging him. And then she starts going on like this power trip that their son will be like the next Napoleon, this next big dictator type.
Oh no.
Like it was character assassination that still hasn't really been undone. Like that is Damian's official origin. And they had to do a bunch of convoluted bullcrap to be like, oh, so why was Talia never rocking a baby bump? It was because she took out like her eggs or something and placed Damian in like a little cubicle incubator machine or some crap so he could be in there.
Look, I literally hearing this for the first time. I just came up with a better solution than that. Just have like the Lazarus pit have like super fertility powers or something. Like pregnant woman sits in there and it makes the process go super fast or something.
I mean, that's stupid, but it would. The
Lazarus pit is magical and shit. At least it would like have a variable quality.
Mean that the disco ball started on another planet, or does this planet just adapt like Earth's disco ball?
I don't know. She says.
No, it's because James Gunn doesn't know how to do anything. Like he can't be creative.
That was his way of lampshading what we were just talking about with like, oh, it's so Earth-like that it's stupid. He's just like, oh, I'll just have the dog ask the question and I'll say, I don't know.
Cars are out. Hereby declare the 23 will be the best year yet.
And this will be a little bit different from the comics where she's.
Oh, shut up. It's by 2 years. Who cares? It's not worth pointing out.
turning 21. And in the comics,
And of course, they used the Truth, Justice, and American Way motto in the damn book by Tom King. That, I swear, if they use the motto in that movie, I'm going to get pissed.
this bar is where she meets Ruthie after a mercenary tries to scam the little girl out of her father's sword. And then we hear the trailer song Call Me by Blondie. And notice that Kara is wearing a Blondie shirt underneath this trench coat, like she wears in the comic and like we saw at the end of Superman.
Subtle.
So even though this
trench
is not a
coat.
James Gunn film, it's directed by Craig Gillespie, it still does have his love for music in the DNA of
this
this
isn't
trailer.
a James
Kara
Gunn film like Episode 6 wasn't a George Lucas film. You know?
Yeah,
Let's be
and they have a
honest.
different director, but there's totally one person, controlling it all behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The only difference is George Lucas is good. James Gunn is a creative hack. He's a one-trick pony.
There's a reason it's very easy to spot immediately, and it doesn't take years later to figure out that it wasn't a Gillespie movie. It's like immediately in the trailer.
James
And I
Gunn,
know-
like,
yeah.
because
And
I've
it's not-
hardly seen anyone bring up the actual director's name in conversation with Supergirl. It's always James Gunn.
Yep.
James is the one getting the blame. James is the one who's like, he's the one who's being told to screw off. It's all James. It's never anyone else.
Even the
owns
praise,
both the
people are like, we're in good hands with James Gunn, clearly.
I think Brandon Roof's Superman suit is the best iteration of the suit. It's classic, but updated to fit with modern times. It also not hella over-designed. Yeah, it is actually a pretty good suit. I just think the reds could be a bit brighter. Like the one on the symbol looks very brown.
I sort of see I feel like the CW a couple of the Superman, I forget, it eventually moved to another network, but the Superman and Lois, like he had a pretty good costume, I feel like. But,
Yeah, it looked pretty good. I have to watch that show. I think that's like the only really consistently good CW show I've heard.
I've heard that. I was checked out by the time that one actually rolled around.
record player and a Walkman. Now, the song Call Me is originally from the movie American Gigolo, and its lyrics are basically saying, call me anytime.
Serious?
Exactly. And in this case, it's implying that Kara is available to help Ruthie upon her
Oh
request.
my god, breaking down the song.
Yeah. It's not a complicated song. It's not like it's doing a bunch of metaphors. It's
I mean, I could also say that, it's by Blondie and Kara's a blonde.
whoa, bro.
That's how surface level. Ugh.
Possibly to avenge her dad. After a few shots of Millie Alcock dancing, remember she was also young Rhaenyra on House of the Dragon. She
Yes,
Oh.
thank you. That's the one thing everybody references. And yes, she was good in that.
Well, that show was good. After Great Game of Thrones completely crashed and burned.
Mm-hmm.
tells Crypto,
It's not a very high bar to clear.
Ruthie says to her,
I didn't know any of you were still alive.
referring to how Kryptonians are an endangered species in the universe. Now, it'll be
Endangered species? Are you seriously going to go there?
There's like 2 of them. They're effectively extinct.
interesting to see how people in the galaxy view Kryptonians. In the older Superman comics, Krypton was a friendly utopian
Damn, that
society.
Kryptonian got
And
some
then after the
cans.
1980s
Dang.
for Superman
No wonder
comics,
that guy's
Krypton
smiling. He's like, oh, yeah.
was a friendly utopian society. And then after the 1980s reboot, they were reimagined as a cold, science-based society. But in the films, Jor-El has always been portrayed as this benevolent, almost godlike power.
Bro, turn down the brightness on your suit.
Wait, me or the
No,
actual
the in the scene there, he was very bright.
But James Gunn flipped this on its head, instead saying that Kryptonians are D-bags who wanted Kal-El to colonize
Well,
Earth
no,
and create
Superman's
a breeding
parents
farm.
specifically, actually. I'm not sure if it was all Kryptonians who did that, but it
Oh,
was
God.
one of the dumbest twists that I've ever seen in a major motion picture.
It's so dumb that because it's like they clearly want it to be then, Superman doesn't have to choose between being a Kryptonian or a human first. He can just be a human because his Kryptonians parents are, Kryptonians are evil.
And it's like why? It's such a throwaway like conflict where he's
They
like
never resolve it. It
What?
never gets resolved by the end of the movie.
It's so over the top that it's like, of course Superman's not going to do that. Like 99.999% of people are not going to follow the instructions of, hey buddy, go conquer and breed with everybody. It's like it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, obviously, why is this message even here? This is useless and doesn't feed into my character at all. And they had to like manufacture the conflict after he heard the message of like, oh geez, I've been influenced by my outside sources. It's like, yeah, because they completely lined up with your earth sources for like most of your life, and then you
Like-
had 5 minutes of a conflict.
Like the Lois and Clark show from the 90s did the concept a lot better, where a group of Kryptonians were revealed to be alive and Clark had to basically take over as leader, but he ultimately chooses to stay as ruler, as the hero of Earth. And it's like, it's done way better because it's clearly a case of he's torn between which duty to, like what species to really be loyal to.
Yeah, there's no being torn here. It's like these people are dead and they asked you to do something crazy, so just don't do it. It's like, okay.
And apparently the world just forgets about that message, and it's like, oh, everything's totally fine.
Yeah, you're right. They just never resolve it. It's
Like,
just
I think I heard that a digital release of Superman fixed it, that Lex actually faked the message.
But James Gunn has said after the fact, he's like, oh no, I made it very clear that it was not fake. I had Mr. Terrific say it. I had Lex say it to the other villain. He's like, I'm telling you, it wasn't doctored. Nobody, like, because somebody asked him if it was doctored, and he got all like, he went on a whole tangent about how it obviously wasn't.
James Gunn is just a big man child. I cannot take him serious. I don't have any respect for him.
Don't forget, he also said The Flash was one of the greatest superhero movies he's ever seen.
Ooh.
For the planet as the last son of Krypton.
Take as many wives as you can.
So in this universe, are the Kryptonians like the Viltrumites imposing their will on the universe? Or like in the Snyder films, were they isolationist and swore off space travel? Now I think that would make the most sense, or else, Kryptonians wouldn't be so rare in the universe. And then she says,
The gods are not that kind.
and this is a direct quote from issue 6 of Woman of Tomorrow, where she tells Ruthie about her history on Krypton.
Oh, I need you. Good Lord.
The gods
and her
are not
parents'
that
deaths.
kind. Seems so out of place for the character that they've shown.
And then we see the formation of Argo City, and just like in the comics, it's protected by a bubble. As I said earlier,
Except now the force field is piss colored.
Get out of your
this
bubble.
was one of the last bastions for Kryptonian civilization, and it was created by Zor-El, who's Kara's father. And it looks like, just like in the comics, things don't go well for these survivors. We see a large funeral. Now, this could be for people who were lost in the original explosion of the planet, or it could be for the many, many deaths from kryptonite poisoning that happened afterwards. Notice everybody is wearing white robes, just like the robes that Jor-El and Lara wore in the Kryptonian message.
Oh my God! You don't need to point out every.
White and white? Coincidence? I think not. Notice how they also have 2 eyeballs.
What happened to your camera, John?
I shut it off because I got to go take a piss real quick.
Okay. John's going to go take a piss real quick, guys. All 4 of you that are still left. Solar, you still with us, man? I'm sorry you've been quiet the whole time.
Yeah, don't worry. I just need to read more comics to have
That's
a
totally
more
fine. Afterwards, it's all Star Wars, buddy.
Right. I
God.
I also
It's been 4 years since the Star Wars Eclipse trailer. Are you kidding me?
I never really got in touch with it. It was a video game or what?
It's supposed to be a video game because I saw the because I was watching the Game Rewards that year and that trailer came out.
What was it going to be about?
I have no damn clue. Like, I seriously don't.
Right.
Well, where the hell do you start with the comics? It depends on who what comic you're even interested in, like genre, character. I mean, to be fair, I kind of stumbled all over the place as well. Like with something like DC, it's a lot harder to decide but Marvel is a bit easier. Just ignore everything that comes like around the 2000s. Like
I'm gonna
Civil
stick
War.
to the golden or silver age.
Yeah, I like the DC's Bronze Age.
Was
I love
bronze
that.
like the 90s?
Bronze was like bronze was the 70s.
Oh, okay.
You know, you had like
see.
the
So
laughing.
golden is like 30s, 40s, then silvers is like 60s or
yeah, 60s, and then the Bronze Age was the 70s because that was like starting to bring comics back to being a lot more dark. To they could show death again. The Comics Code Authority got a bit lighter. Batman was actually allowed to be dark and gritty a bit more.
So Marvel Comics went downhill in the 2000s, right?
Marvel Comics, yeah, with stuff like Civil War, One More Day.
And DC around with Batman, you were talking about something in 2011, a comic run.
Yeah,
I don't
the
remember
new
the name.
52. The new 52 is where DC really falls off.
All right.
From the movie Superman. So these could be ceremonial robes, or maybe, like in the Richard Donner Superman movie, Kryptonians just wear the same thing all the time. We also saw a similar Kryptonian funeral procession in the landmark comic Adventures of Superman issue 500. So this is a comic from the early to mid-90s.
I'm willing to bet he just Googled all this crap.
After they killed Superman, they had his funeral, and then this issue marked the beginning of his return. Pa Kent sees Clark's soul in the afterlife when Kryptonians are trying to take him into the great beyond, and Jonathan has to help him fight for his life. Note, here we see the characters in white robes. Now, I love how this new DCU is able to incorporate little details like this from an array of different comics from different eras. Now,
it's key jingling nostalgia, babe, because nowadays... Excuse me, sir. What do you mean I make comics not worth reading?
Uh-oh.
Someone's taking a shot.
Why is someone taking a shot at me?
I mean, he's attacking you.
Dang.
My channel is under attack.
I think this is like the first major time this is happening.
Zelda, Brandon the Awesome is under attack by the evil forces of Ganon.
Oh, no. God. Oh, God, the horse is back.
Whores?
Oh, and by the way, because the thing with James Gunn is he's referencing the comics a lot more than, say, the MCU did. Because they want to win back, that audience in the cheapest, most shallow way possible. They think that referencing the actual material, like costumes, events, stuff like that, doing a lot more than that than just saying, oh, here's Captain America. That's going to be what wins the people back. Or, having brighter colors or more insane action.
Nah, man, it's not edgy enough. But also we need to be like super happy all the time.
I ain't taking a shot at you, Brandon. These days, I don't feel like reading DC and Marvel comics. Yeah, that's understandable. Modern Marvel and modern DC are shit.
Now, Kara's backstory is also a huge part of the Woman of Tomorrow comic, as she uses her origin story to explain the power of life and death to a young Ruthie. And here we see Ruthie with her father's sword that she plans to use against Krim to avenge her dad's death. In the comics, Krim killed her dad with his own sword and then left it planted in his dead body. And the alien she's sitting next to looks like the same species they sit beside in the comics.
Oh my God, who cares? This is so boring. I only have like 3 people watching because of this.
She says,
this does not look like this is going to end well.
For you guys, which is similar to her line.
You were saying, John?
Oh, it's just that sarcastic line. I just said, oh my God. Because I feel like that's how fucking idiot shills were.
Oh my gosh. They're eating.
God. This isn't going to end well. It's like, oh, so sarcastic.
In the comics, when she's drunk and meets the mercenary in the bar and tells him, this is probably going to hurt. you.
Hey, how come Crypto isn't in the trailer more?
I don't want
What
to
a
spoil the
terrible
comics,
line.
but let's just say he's not in the entire story in the book, but he might be in the movie. But if you guys do,
Of course he's going to be in like the entire movie because he's going to, again, it's like Crypto in the Superman movie was just one tired joke of, oh, he's a super dog. He jumps around and he, beats the living crap out of stuff while being playful and whatnot. Like you have a super serious scene with Superman and Lex at like near the end of the film, and then Crypto just shows up and just starts throwing Lex around.
Oh God, yeah, don't remind me of that.
It was like Crypto is just he was just a one trick. He wasn't even, he was just one big joke that wasn't funny.
want some more Crypto in your life? We do have this "Where's the Dog" shirt in our merch store, and
Oh my God. How the hell can you even, print this kind of merchandise?
Oof. It's bad. It's bad.
tons of new.
I do not approve of using my likeness. I do not want my.
Happy Life did the Hulk 40% off in store from the comics, but the villain Krim looks different. In the book, he looks mostly human, but now he's more alien with purple.
Okay, this is insane. This is bizarre because Marvel usually has it where they'll take a character that looks super interesting in the comics, like super bizarre, and just make him into a tired, into just a normal human. And now James is doing the opposite. Like, come on, man.
Yep. Oh boy.
He doesn't even look all that memorable. Like, I bet he's just going to be disposable supervillain number 576.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, they all are like, oh, he looks so cool. It's like, yeah, that's one.
Like, this is giving me Ronan the Accuser vibes from Guardians again. Because that's the only movie James Gunn knows how to make.
What? Hey, he's so shut up.
Skin and dots on his face. Now, the purple skin could be a reference to how colorist Matt Lopez shaded Krim in several of the issues.
Oh my God! Who cares about this? Is like referencing they race swapped Jessica Drew in Across the Spider-Verse because of this one obscure black character who had the Spider-Woman name like back in the 30s. Like, come on, man.
Color of his eyes. Now, while Kara and Ruthie do meet some purple aliens on their space adventure, we think it's less likely that Krim is a Euralian, and is more likely that his skin color is chosen to reflect his status in the Barban Brigands.
Just say right now?
Okay, so the Barban Brigands are space marauders, and Krim joins them. This means that he is now under their protection, which makes it harder for Kara and Ruthie to capture him. But there is one other purple reference that they could be pulling from here. In issue 3 of the comic, Kara and Ruthie travel to the town of Maypole, which is a quiet city full of blue people, but it's slowly revealed that the planet used to contain blue and purple people, but the blues consider the purples to be like inferior and less than, so they force them.
It's a racist allegory. Because of course.
Very subtle. Very subtle.
Tom King doesn't know subtlety.
All to live in a place called Purple Town. The Barbando Brigands then invaded and slaughtered all of the purples. So it could be that Krim was originally part of this tribe. Now we do see Kara and Ruthie jump out of a building together, which happens in Maypole in the comics. But this doesn't look like Maypole. So maybe they're switching out the Maypole arc for a planet of space pirates rather than blue people. And then we finally see him, the main man, Lobo. Guys,
they're going to screw up. Like, I guarantee you, they're probably going to make Lobo into not the offensive stereotype that he's supposed to be. The 90s cigar chomping, big gun toting.
I'm the main man, babe.
Like, his entire character like his mere existence is offensive to shills and fake fans alike.
Oy vey.
Can we watch Disney shills over this? Yeah, we're almost done. Home stretch.
This is a special moment for us. For years, every Superman movie featured either just Lex Luthor or Zod as a villain.
Or industrialist Ross Webster.
Right. But we've always wanted to see a villain from Superman's kick-ass roster in the comics. And now,
well, first of all, you have to consider freaking budget. I mean, for one, you can't, like, they were able to adapt, because the Lois and Clark show I've watched had like Metallo, but it was like mostly Lex, and even then Lex got phased out over time, and they began using like more original villains because they didn't have much of a budget.
Now we have him, the anti-hero Lobo, who is a space biker in a huge pain in Superman's ass.
The name's Lobo. That's L as in lacerate, O as in obliterate, B as in disembowel, and O as in...
What's supposed to be offensive about that guy?
He's a cigar chomping, big gun toting, space bike motoring, babe loving dude.
That's badass.
Yeah. He's the 90s personified.
It's very problematic, actually.
Like DC tried making him into like a more skinny, feminine type man in the New 52, and everybody hated it, so they immediately had to go back and change it.
That's pretty
Not
funny.
in the original Woman of Tomorrow comic, but get this. In an interview with Word Balloon, Tom King revealed that the Woman of Tomorrow comic was originally supposed to include the space biker as Supergirl's counterpart. Now, they ultimately decided to remove him altogether from the storyline and give
because he would have been problematic, and also because Tom King just probably didn't want to write Lobo because he hates Lobo, just like he hates every single damn character he has ever written.
the opportunity to be the Rooster Cogburn of the series. That was John Wayne and Jeff Bridges' character in the True Grit movies. Now, it would make sense if we're introduced to Lobo at the bar, because that's where he's been introduced in several Superman comics over the years. For instance, in Superman 41, he hears people talking about how tough Superman is, so he flies his space bike to Earth to pick a fight. In the movie, maybe he's the first person that Ruthie approached, and then Supergirl kicks his ass in the bar. And I gotta take a second to just say how perfect this casting is. It is the best comic book movie casting since Patrick Stewart as Professor X.
We literally have not seen Jason Momoa perform as Lobo, so how the hell can you say it's peak comic book casting?
Yep, I always reference, like, people said that Gal Gadot was perfect casting until years later. Then they all tried to act like they weren't part of that. It's like, no. I remember all you guys. Nobody else can play Wonder Woman. Nobody else could ever do this. It's
like you had several good actresses do Wonder Woman over the years.
Yeah,
like the one from her 70s show.
And the point is, they're never gonna say it in the moment. They're gonna say, they might criticize a casting after the fact, but let's be honest.
Well, of course, because they need their Disney, they need their shill access.
Yep.
Or they're just part of a zombie hive mind.
That one's
when
a bit more likely.
James Gunn was named head of this new DC Studios, Jason Momoa texted him saying, "Lobo, baby." So instead of, trying to turn Aquaman into King of the Broshan, Momoa now actually gets to play a character who fits his personality type. Ruthie asks her,
"Do you have this on your planet of house like you?"
And she replies,
"No, it's a pretty small group of two,"
referring to her and her cousin.
What the hell with that audio? The audio kind of like skipped on my end. So I didn't understand like those two sentences.
And by the way,
Rewind.
I just want to quickly note that Ruthie asks her,
"Do you have this on your planet of house like you?"
And she replies,
"No, it's a pretty small group of two,"
referring to her and her.
Yeah, I'm still not.
Oh, so are there people on your planet with powers like you? No, it's a pretty small group of two. So like the lady, she doesn't realize that like everybody's dead except for those two.
Just wait until we get Superboy. If we get Superboy.
Her cousin. And by the way, I just want to quickly note that this movie is actually the third time we've seen Kara appear in this new DCU. The first was in Superman, and the second was in Peacemaker here. And here we see her.
It's so weird that she's now going to be like a main, member of the Justice League. Or no, excuse me, the Justice Gang, because we have to build up to calling it the Justice League. We have to subvert expectations.
Well, we don't want to be too corny, Nobody liked that whenever they did it in the 90s. Trust me. Oh, wait. Everybody loved that. It's the Telltale game. It's like everybody loved that. James Gunn's like, nah.
Sick Crypto.
I hope the little guy's okay.
Me too, buddy. No spoilers, but I will say that Crypto is a major
Shut up.
reason why Kara decides to go on this journey with Ruth. Now, she's talking about her cousin when she says,
"He sees the good in everyone, and I see the truth."
And this is similar to what Lois said about Clark.
You trust everyone and think everyone you've ever met is like beautiful.
This sentiment is brought up
because, of course, we have to punch down Superman being a good guy.
It also doesn't show that at all in the movies. Like they just have other characters talk about him that way.
Yeah, it show, don't tell, James Gunn.
Yeah, he doesn't develop the character properly, so he just has to have people outright state what he's supposed to be, which is, yeah, seeing the good in everybody. But then, like, in the actual story, he doesn't do it.
Yeah, everyone's just got to punch him down. Like, I guarantee you, James Gunn will make it that Supergirl is better than Superman because, you know, she's not blinded by the same hope and optimism that he is.
At the end in this movie, there'll be a scene where they're like, "Oh, should we just go get Superman?" And she's like, "You don't need Superman. You've got someone better." I can absolutely picture that happening.
Several times throughout the comic. In issue 2, Kara says she sees everything in a solemn way. Clark tends to look for the good in the situation, but Kara feels burdened by the weight of the truth. In her 23 years, Kara has seen horrors beyond anyone's imagination, and she doesn't sugarcoat
Superman literally freaking died. You haven't. Shut up.
Not even to Ruthie. Here we see Kara flying off into space, which is similar to what happens in the comics. After witnessing the brutality that the brigands have left in their wake, Kara shoots off into a sun where she allows herself to scream and let go of all of the trauma that she's picked up on this adventure. In fact, that sun scene could be her screaming here. And this scene shows Kara swinging a chain
which looks goofy as hell.
Space pirates, likely the...
Because it's like, there's such a kind of like a piss filter all over this.
Yeah. And she's still wearing the stupid trench coat. Like, I'm sorry. That's just...
I guarantee she's only going to have, like, her suit, like, in the third act of the film.
Yep.
It's going to be one of those movies.
She went on a journey to get there. No, you just arbitrarily did it because it was the third act.
It could be her screaming here. And this scene shows Kara swinging a chain at these space pirates, likely the marauding Barbando Brigade that I mentioned a little bit earlier. In her final fight against
that little bit of choreography that they showed in that fight scene was... like hilariously bad because like they see the chain start to swing around in a circle and they run towards her just to get swept up in it.
Like, it could be her screaming here.
Look at the guys at the bottom of the screen after it pans out here. You'll see them like jogging towards these
space pirates.
Oh yeah, like this one guy's running
by this thing.
Likely the marauding Barbando Brigade that I mentioned a little bit earlier. In her final fight against them in the comic, the pirates actually win, shooting her with kryptonite and then pinning her down with chains just like these. Now, I'm not going to spoil what happens next in case they adapt it for the movie, and in case you can't tell, you should just read the comic. It's really good.
AKA, never read the comic. If it's recommended by a shill, don't do it.
Go give DC money before you give them money for the movie, for sure.
Great. And this also looks like the same ship that crashes here in the trailer. And this takes us to this massive intergalactic bus. Now, this is similar to the intergalactic Hall Ferry vessel that Kara and Yuthi used to travel around in the comics while they were still near red suns and Kara was powerless. This could also be the ship that we saw Kara waiting for in the mini teaser that we had over the weekend, which is a nod, of course, to the cover of issue 2 of Woman of Tomorrow. Now, we also see Kara beat down on a barren world, which is a huge part of the comic. When the two first catch up to Krem, he uses magic
from?
Yeah, it's not like this character's been around for, you know, several decades. Oh, wait.
To send Ruthie and Kara to the planet Barrington. Kara reveals...
Oh, God. They even have it that her boots are hiked up so high that they cover, like, all of her legs.
We're going to show this little bit of skin. It's a little triangle.
Planet was originally built for her cousin as a prison, trapping him on a world that zaps all of his powers. She tells Ruthie how Clark barely made it there for 45 minutes before the Justice League rescued him. But then Kara is able to survive on the planet for a whole 9 hours.
Again.
Yeah.
Speaking of showing off the legs, they're like, no, we need the super long skirt now.
Yeah, actually, it was super short for a while.
No, in that in the DC animated universe, she wore like I don't know, it was sort of like a bikini bottom. It was like, you know, cut up.
Yeah, they always refer to it as her swimsuit costume because that's literally what it is.
And then she had the bustier, which had like fucking cleavage showing, which they'll never do anymore. Like Gal Gadot, to be honest, didn't have a lot to show, but it was a very conservative costume.
Yeah, like women can't be. It's not like, you know, Wonder Woman is supposed to be, you know, have the beauty of Aphrodite. Blessed by the Greek gods themselves.
Sculpted from clay and shit.
And she calls Clark a little bitch, just like she did at the end of
And anybody
Superman.
who's like, oh, that's impractical. It's like, well, I don't see many gymnasts wearing super long skirts, and yet I see them all wearing very tight things. So I'm pretty sure if you're jumping around kicking villains and shit, that you actually want that. Like, I know it's bad because it shows legs or whatever, but like, even from a practicality standpoint, you can't make an argument.
And it's like Wonder Woman has really good reflexes. She can just, use her bracelets to reflect bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she can't do that anymore because apparently we have to make her almost as powerful as Superman now.
That's one thing Snyder at least got right. I'll give him that, where whenever Superman was like raging out, he was able to like basically kick Wonder Woman's ass whenever he was being serious.
For a whole 9 hours, and she calls Clark a little bitch.
It's not his fault he was there for 45 minutes. Remember when Black Widow was hot on screen? Pepper Ridge Farms remembers.
Oh, I remember whenever she liked showing off for the director. We all seen that gif where she walks in front of all the dudes and like waggles her ass and walks away. And Jon Favreau's like, It's like,
what? She doesn't do that anymore? Or was
no,
it?
Now Scarlett Johansson is like 40 and she goes, well, male gaze is bad because I've hit the wall.
All right.
They always start it once they can't exploit it anymore. Once they've made all their money off the male gaze, then they're like, okay, now it's bad because I can't make money off of it anymore.
It's like she did at the end of Superman.
Thanks for watching him, bitch.
This arc not only
because
bitch.
Because God forbid the young generation respect the old one.
I just love how that's enough for like some people to be endeared. They're like, "Oh, she's such a piece of shit, and she calls him bitch. I love her." It's just like, really, that's all it takes. All right.
Like I remember, my normal co-host Kawil was like when I posted about the Supergirl teaser, and they were saying, "Oh, they're just going to make her drunk and all that." And he says, "Oh, because they were going to make her relatable." And I'm like, I don't know how too many people that have freaking PTSD and drink a lot.
I loved all the people that were like, hey, this is just a teaser. It's not showing her whole character. Or,
well, first impressions matter, and so far she has failed to impress.
Well, and it's what you choose to put out. So my attitude is always have the same energy for people who are hyping and speaking positively as you do for anybody having a problem with it. Because they only ever call out, they're like, oh, look at these guys. They're saying the movie's going to be bad because of the trailer. Okay, there's this other guy who says, I'm already convinced and I'm buying a ticket day one based on this trailer. So you're going to call him out as well? No, because he's positive. It's okay. It's like, all right. Sounds like a double standard.
Shows Kara's resilience, but it also gives Ruthie a moment to shine when she fights off every monster that tries to attract Kara while they're trapped. It's interesting to think that Kara could spend a lot of this movie powered down or with no powers.
Yeah, because that's what we want to see. We want to see a Supergirl with no powers.
It just shows lack of creativity. They can't deal with a superpowered person with a
also because the CGI is going to be crap. Because of course.
They got to have it be like a gritty bar fight scene because they can't like actually choreograph something with legitimate superpowers.
They want to cast ScarJo in the Batman Part 2. She can't be Ivy because she hit the wall. Yeah.
She could be like a female lawyer in Gotham or something, like that one that tried to expose Batman in the animated series.
The one who ended up defending him in trial.
Yep. I was just going to say they're never going to do that storyline how it was in the animated series because she was proven wrong and had to like eat her words and basically be wrong about all the villains being victims.
And also because it also kind of shatters this idea that Batman is the bad guy.
Yep. No, that story would never fly today because they'd be like, no, he should just give his money. It's actually bad to be Batman. He's a fascist.
At all. James Gunn's movie was all about exploring Superman's weakness, and the original comic book Woman of Tomorrow does the same thing for Supergirl.
Honestly, the Superman movie did jack shit.
The Superman movie was a meandering nonsense of like just conflicting
weakness.
tones.
What weakness? The dog. We barely even get any development with him and Crypto before Crypto gets stolen. Because I have argued with people on this, and they have given every single stupid argument in the book to try and defend that stupid movie. John, what are you staring at?
I was squinting at this panel. Sorry, I should have just made it full screen for myself because I was trying to see what she was saying in the comic panel. I came here on my bleep birthday, so I wouldn't have to always think about invulnerability. Thunk.
It's about how, even without her powers, Kara Zor-El's real strength comes from her determination and spirit. As Glenn Weldon
but mainly
said,
from her powers,
by
because people can have a lot of determination and spirit, and they'll still get flattened by fucking Brainiac.
I mean, just look at Spider-Man. He gets his ass kicked a good amount of times, and he has superpowers.
Biography of Superman, his two main characteristics are that he always does the right thing and never gives up. And Kara is the same, except for Clark, he has that attitude because he grew up with
characteristics for Superman. Never gives up and always does the right thing.
That's literally every superhero on the planet.
Yeah, and like never gives up is even like that's what people always say whenever they're like the most shallow like shonen fans in anime. They're like, why do you like Goku? Oh, because he never gives up. Why do you like Tanjiro? Oh, because he never gives up. It's just like it's a very generic like heroic trait. Like don't say that if you're describing a character specifically.
Like use something else more unique.
Like even for Superman,
really nice
it's like he sees the good in people. He believes in people even after nobody else would. Like that's what makes him more. That's more of a unique description for him, I would say.
Superman hasn't been good in movies since Superman 2. Yeah, unfortunately, that is very true. His filmography is really just filled with stinkers.
He's yeah, I mean luckily we do have the DC animated universe, and he's had a couple Superman versus the Elite.
Yeah,
gosh.
You know, the movie based on What's So Special About Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
Yeah. So he's
you know,
had a
before
lot
they
of, like,
stopped using that slogan.
Yeah, he's had some good iterations. But yeah, unfortunately, and there's been some bad animated ones too. I mean, the Injustice movie came out, for God's sake, but
Injustice in general, like that was what I think really kicked off the evil Superman trope for a while.
Oh, and he just mentioned Smallville. I haven't watched Smallville, but I've heard mixed things about it.
Yeah, my dad said it's kind of good.
I've heard most of the bad things that I've heard is whenever they like went a little bit beyond their scope for like an early 2000s TV show where they were like trying to do Doomsday and shit. And it was like you couldn't really handle that with the CG and the effects.
So it looks bad.
Yeah, like and it kind of like stretches itself thin a little bit because I think they try to introduce a lot of different heroes, but a lot of people say like the character work and especially Lex Luthor in it was really good. So I'd be willing to check that out sometime.
Me too.
Life on a farm in Kansas. But for Kara, her resilience stems from a place of coping with trauma. She wants to make sure that no other civilization ever has to experience the Holocaust that she witnessed with her own eyes.
Well, apparently not. She doesn't give a shit for 90%.
Oh my God. You ripped off Batman. Except you made it that his parents get killed 1 billion times over.
It's like
that's Batman.
Well, it's Batman if Batman for the first 20 years was just like, I'm gonna go get drunk and not give a fuck. It's like, but Batman, shouldn't your response to that trauma be to immediately make like your immediate goal should be like, I hope nobody else experiences this. I'm gonna work towards that. Like Supergirl, if it takes like 10 years for her to figure out like, oh,
what
wait,
being a superhero means.
Yeah, I got all these powers. Maybe I should stop other people from experiencing my trauma. Then maybe she's just a piece of shit, quite frankly.
Through that kind of hardship is usually the origin story for a villain, but for Kara, this is where she gets her greatest moral strength. Now remember, Peacemaker Season 2 ended with the reveal that the government has created a prison dimension called Salvation where they are sending all of their metahumans. This
because apparently you can just create dimensions now.
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing. Like to open up their universe, they had Lex Luthor making pocket dimensions. So
like he could just do that.
Stakes are fucked now. We can just make pocket dimensions already in the first movie.
movie could also be taking part of setting up that arc. Well, like I said earlier, Lobo is always coming to Earth and causing trouble. I mean, I doubt if the DCU would
that's the Tomorrowverse.
Bring him into this franchise for one supporting role in this movie. So what if he comes to Earth to find Supergirl or Superman,
like
and
Archer.
then Argus?
I hate that animation style. Like,
what?
I love it for Archer because it's a comedic show, but like in the DC, like,
that was the Tomorrowverse.
Yeah, I've seen clips from those recent movies, and it's always got like the little like outline on all the characters, like the black outline, and
I think the only Tomorrowverse movie that really looks good with that style was The Long Halloween. Like that, I really liked how they used that art style.
Yeah, I feel like the Batman movies are almost like separated more so from most of them because I remember Gotham by Gaslight. Whenever I wasn't liking a lot of their animated stuff, and that came out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is like its nice little standalone thing." Uh, and I'm not sure how accurate it was to the comics. If it bastardized it, then I apologize. But I just I have seen DC animated be so amazing, and for them to just kind of cheap out because that's what it looks like, quite frankly, for a lot of the Justice League and the Crisis on.
Yeah,
It just looks cheap. And
like,
oh, go ahead.
I'll say the Tomorrowverse art style looks a lot better than the last art style they had. That one I just didn't like when they were doing like a little animated movie verse.
Oh, was that whenever they like started around the same time as New 52? It was like Justice League War and all that.
Yeah, the Dark Side War. They did the Batman Hush adaptation during that time period.
Dude, that I think it was Dark Side War where they just kill everybody, right?
Yeah, they kill off like Batgirl. They kill off Batwoman. Like they even introduced Batgirl like at the ending of I think it was Batman Bad Blood, and then she just gets killed off unceremoniously. No lines of dialogue or any relevance. She just dies. She's just another body for the pile.
Well, I just remember the beginning of that because wasn't it like okay, so they did the New 52 in comics, and then they needed to match that with the animated movies and everything, and they were like pretty faithful at first, and then like they ended the New 52, so then the animated movies were like, "Oh fuck, we gotta kill everybody and restart the universe." And so they made a movie where just like everybody just gets slaughtered. It's like, because I watched that movie, I'm just like, "Holy shit, why is everybody being so stupid?"
It's because we have to kill
the fire planet. It's like, guys, it's in the name. Aqua. There's no water there. What the fuck are we doing? It's the opposite of water. It's fire. Like watch
him into this other dimension. That would mean in a potential Salvation movie that we could see Lobo and John Cena play off each other.
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, please.
Don't use Futurama. I actually finally saw the episode where that's in because I'm up to season 6.
Yeah, is that like the iPhone or whatever? Where they're
that was the iPhone.
Yeah.
I did not like that episode. That one ended on like a weird, like it felt like there was supposed to be more to it, and then they just had to cut it.
I think that was after their first reboot because that show got canceled like 3 different times.
Yeah, I heard about it. Definitely did read like a reboot because everyone gets killed at the beginning and then they get like regurgitated back.
Well,
like the ending, like the writing definitely took a bit of a nosedive. I saw because it was like the first 5 seasons were pretty good. There were some episodes I liked. I liked Parasite's Lost. I liked the season 5 finale, the one where Fry gets the robot devil's hands and is writing like an orchestra opera. Like I like that. I liked Godfellas, where Bender's literally a god and he just ends up killing everyone.
Oh yes, when he has the conversation with God in space.
Yeah, the space computer god. Like I like that episode.
Oh, that's a great episode. Whenever he's just like, Bender, if you help too much, people become reliant on you. But if you don't help at all, people stop believing in you. So you got to do a light touch. and I love the line where he's like, yes, you were doing pretty well until everybody died.
Like, I love the moral of that movie where if you do the right thing, it's as if you did nothing at all. I kind of like that idea. Yep. I actually liked Parasite's Lost because I think that's really the episode where they pick up Fry's character and really do something with him.
I'm not even lying. Like talking through this, the Bender meeting God episode, like that could be a legit great like Superman kind of movie
Exactly,
arc or whatever, where because he basically has like these godlike powers, and he's just like, oh fuck, like if I do so much, then like people are so reliant on me, but if I don't do enough, then they get angry at me because I'm not constantly vigilant. How do I live my own life?
Yeah, so it's like you could work with that. Like they literally did it with a robot who's designed to be evil, and they made it work. I really loved Parasite's Lost. Like that was like the first great episode for me. Like the one with the fries worms.
Oh yes,
it's the one where he eats a bathroom sandwich and they start making of it. I love that. Like for me, that really picked up.
Yeah,
that picked up his character for me. Like after that, his character really got good.
And
in my opinion,
there's the one where he gets stung by the bee and he's in like the coma and stuff. Or is that Leela? No, that's
Leela's
Leela
the one who gets. Leela's the one who gets stung and is in the coma. Fry just gets stabbed right through.
Right now,
that's a good episode. I think it's called The Sting.
Yeah, that's an awesome one. And then the one with Fry's brother,
Luck at the Fryrish.
Yeah, that's a super. And of course, the dog one that everybody remembers.
Jurassic Park. I like Jurassic Park. Like there are some good episodes in there. 6 is not so far doing it that I kind of started. I took a bit of a break from Futurama right now because it's like 6 is very not great. It has some issues and there is some funky writing. Like the Amy's parents are constantly telling her to get married and have a, but it's like she's technically married to Kif already, and they technically have kids. You just gotta wait for them to grow up.
Ooh, Amy, your parents.
It felt weird to me. But anyway, let's wrap this up and get to the Disney show part.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, check out our link below for a special discount on.
Okay, never mind. He wrapped up. Okay.
Oh my gosh, he's selling pictures of his. That's not even a good picture. You just literally sliced a photo in half, and put your dog on each side.
Well, it's better than him. It's better than him promoting a freaking scam because there was that bit where you could buy pieces of land somewhere. Jesus. Or you could be a lord or a lady of some kind of land, and that was a scam. Or there was some sort of self-help service that was also a scam.
Oh, BetterHelp?
Yeah, BetterHelp.
That's what EFAB was catching Chris Stuckman for recently, because he was doing BetterHelp where they have to fake like they've used it too. They're like, oh, I've suffered from anxiety and I called BetterHelp and I feel better now.
There actually was a YouTube channel I watched for a while that actually did do a promotion by them that people called them out in the comments for.
You want to know what's funny? I watch, so for Nostalgia Critic, I don't watch most of his modern stuff, but
I don't watch him anymore.
Well, around Halloween and Christmas, I'll watch his older stuff for those holiday movies or his, horror movies or whatnot, especially before he killed himself for the first time, the character, I mean.
WICS, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, man. But he had one where he obviously always keeps the ads in. And this was whenever he was doing like the in-video ads, and he had one. This was after Tiger King and everything had come out, but it was for the big cat rescue, like in Florida, with the chick from that show. But it was from like before the show came out. It was like 2014, 2015 or something that this YouTube video had been put out, and he was like, go to Big Cat's Animal Rescue. What's her face is like putting out all these cats. I'm like, holy shit, this is like years before Tiger King. This is actually crazy to hear this. Like he's earnestly like advertising this thing that was later exposed to be horrible. Like I don't even blame him. That's not even like a knock on him or anything. It's just funny. It's like a time capsule. It's like, holy shit, they had all these tigers in Florida and they thought it was okay.
Hey, Solar, you may want to turn your mic on. We're finally getting the Star Wars.
Yay.
Let's go.
All right. Big fire, 10 out of 10, bro.
All right, because we got two videos for Fart of the Old Republic, and then we're going to get to one last video, which I think is going to be perfect because we're wrapping up the end of the year.
Oh, boy.
So let's go. I have my audio muted because copyright stuff. You should react to Shills watching the teaser trailer. I feel like if I do that, I'm just ripping off Grizzy, and I don't want to rip off, and I don't want to get accused of ripping off Grizzy. I respect him too much. Now, I could do that if I, showed up on his streams, but I gotta save some money to do that.
You know, I will say this as far as separating yourself from Grizzy, he doesn't usually cover the gaming stuff as much. So if you did more of that sort of focus, maybe you could kind of.
I'll try.
Yeah.
This automatically doesn't really look like Star Wars.
It's a Saiyan capsule. Oh, it's a joystick. We're playing a game.
When has a Star Wars starship ever been driven with a joystick? Like I've seen like the Falcon doesn't drive like that. TIE fighters, X-Wings don't.
Hello, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I think the closest would have been Slave 1 from Bounty Hunter.
Whoa, you mean the fire starter. Don't call it that.
Fire spray.
I'm
you
sorry.
couldn't even get the name.
I knew it was fire some shit.
For a second, I actually thought this was the ship from KOTOR, the KOTOR games.
The Ebon Hawk.
Probably.
You want to know the worst part? Is I'm probably going to play this sludge just so nobody else has to.
I definitely tune in for that. Well, we're going to have to wait 6 years because this is, 4 years because this is coming out in 2030.
Oh.
Why announce the trailer now? Eclipse? Like Star Wars Eclipse? I'm not kidding. This trailer came out 4 years ago and we have heard zilch since.
Dude, Elder Scrolls 6, the trailer came out 2018. I'm pretty sure.
Didn't that game come out?
Elder Scrolls 6? No. They've re-released Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, about 20 times, and that game came out in 2011. So even the trailer for the sequel came out 7 years after the other one. But now it's been another, whatever it's been, fucking another 6 years. 7 years since the trailer was even released, and all they did was show a title. Like, they're so slow, it's ridiculous.
I complain about the state of Sonic the Hedgehog, but I'll give them this: at least they're throwing like several different products out a year.
There you go. And even me, who a relatively new Final Fantasy fan, I got into with the 7 remake and stuff, and I've gone back and played the classic 7 and everything. It's like people are like, oh, well, 16 was like in 2022 or 2023. I'm like, yeah, but they come out with spin-off games. They come out with 7 Rebirth just last year. They come out with like Stranger Paradise, which was like a spin-off of 1.
There was the Kingdom Hearts games, which are a complete and total tangled mess of web. Like, that's confusing as all hell.
They're feeding their fans with something. They're not just taking a complete break. Like Elder Scrolls is at Elder Scrolls Online, which I tried playing with my brother. He's always desperate for like games that we can play online together because he lives very far away from me. And it's like we both agreed after playing for like a few hours, we're like, this is complete ass. This feels like we're playing an early 2000s game mechanically. Like they do not make the co-op work at all. It's
I think something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge or the new Marvel Cosmic Invasion would be a lot better.
Dude. Oh yeah. I mean,
I would love to play that online, like on stream with someone like you one day. Like that would be awesome.
I would absolutely play that because I never finished
I'll
Shredder's
volunteer.
Revenge. Hey, yeah, and those are all like 4-player games. Unfortunately, my brother doesn't like beat 'em ups, but I would happily play with you guys because I literally have those downloaded, and I have an awesome collector's edition of Shredder's
Awesome.
Revenge.
I just need to get a capture card so I could record this stuff, and we could do gaming streams next year.
There you go, man.
Have you got Steam?
No, you can cross play a lot of times with most of these games nowadays. Like I have a PlayStation 5 that I play on.
Yeah, I got a PS5. That's what I mostly play on. Although I've been doing an Arkham Origins, like I'm going through and playing it for Christmas.
Dude, hilarious story with Arkham Origins. I'll try to be quick because I know we got to get to this, but so I played it originally on the PS3, and then I was playing it for Christmas because it's one of the few Christmas games. It's actually kind of a deprived market. But I went and was firing up my PS3. Its disk drive was a little bit clunky getting going, but we got it after it came out of cold storage. And then I fired it up and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go load this save. And literally it was in 2024, post the election and everything. And I was like, oh, I'm replaying this game. Let me see when my last save was. And no, it was in 2016. That's my previous save. I'm like, so out of a cosmic coincidence, I played this after Donald Trump won the first time, and after the second time,
Won
8
the
years apart, like literally like the same date. It was like early December. It's like,
That's
holy-
perfect.
I can't believe that this is my previous save on this game that I've cracked open my PS3 for.
Also, I'm convinced that this might be HK-47. Like, if they're going to bring him.
Oh,
And this is going to be a politically correct Revan because it's a woman.
God's sake, Sony, get the original KOTOR on your goddamn platform. You are the only platform that doesn't have it. I have a Mac and it has goddamn KOTOR.
I have the
Nintendo
original
Switch has
Xbox
KOTOR.
version.
Yeah. Like, I swear Xbox has some weird exclusivity clause where they're like, only PlayStation cannot have it, even 20 years later.
It's almost like YouTube where you can't like stream on 2 different platforms at the same time.
Oh, that's Twitch where they're like, you can't have a multi-chat up. It's like, really? I don't even give a shit, Twitch. I get 90% bots on your platform anyway.
I'm assuming that's a crashed starship.
Oh, that's the Nostromo from Alien.
Wrong franchise, Disney.
Well, they own it now, so they can do the crossover. They'll be like, "Oh,
Star Wars
HK-47 found the aliens."
I swear to God, if they do a Star Wars crossover like that, I'm gonna cry. But it's like it's a bunch of nothing, and we're not gonna.
It's just all aura farming teaser shots.
Oh, look, the woman is with the sun-looking thing, and she's so sweaty and pissed off. Oh, wow.
Like, look at this font. This font looks awful.
Fate of the Republic, of the Old Republic.
Fart of the old. Like, what have they been doing with the fonts? Like, this is. Give me a second to.
We made Fate really big. I don't know what more you want.
KOTOR.
Like,
you know
give
how
me
Crash Bandicoot and Spyro had quote unquote remakes where they were from the ground up.
Oh my! I have both of those.
It's like, just do that, but with KOTOR. How hard is that? Like
they got Sam. Like, I was hearing they had Sam Maggs on as a writer, but I'm like, why would you need her to be a writer? You don't need to change the story.
Nope. Oh, Metal Gear Solid 3 did this recently where they were like taking all the voice files and everything and they just transferred that over. 90% of your legwork is out of the way. It cuts down on your cost. Just do that. Make it easy on yourself. It's not hard.
Like, look at this. You know, the Star Wars letters are in gold. It looks very nice, very presentable. And then you get
And it had that little symbol in the middle where it had the little red background and, kind of
like this doesn't look anywhere near as eye-catching. You get this, the gold, it looks very presentable. And then you get this faded out, washed out. Oh, wait, I'm not even sharing my damn screen.
Not right now, you're not. You were for a second ago.
I'm an idiot. Like, this is so flat looking.
Yep.
And then you get this, like this shiny gold, this, it looks very nice, very presentable, very grand, very epic. And
the
then
Star Wars symbol is much more like classical, I feel like, in the old one, where this one, it does like the kind of white. It had a little bit of yellow in the older one. And it's like, what is it? She landed on a planet and she stared at some big, bright, hot thing. And that was it.
And she was sweating and pissed.
Yeah. That's how you
And
knew
then
it
she
was
turned
hot.
on a lightsaber.
Yeah, just like
lightsabers.
It's blue.
Lightsabers. I know what that is.
Well, at least it wasn't yellow.
Oh,
Please welcome Dyad of the Force. Are we getting our first canon? I use quotes there. Old Republic story. Fate of the Old Republic reaction. And
I had a clash with them.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
Solar. Holy crap! 17 replies. We got the first canon Old Republic story in 1993. Hope that helps.
Ooh.
The EU's canonicity was always a confusing topic back then. Lucasfilm did not have an official
Jesus.
stance as of 1993. But as the years went on and with Oh my God, Filoni and Hidalgo, you just did a double whammy of we invalidated ourselves almost like that's immediately.
This reminds me of back whenever I watched Collider and shit, and Christian Harloff was always like, "You gotta give Dave Filoni the keys to the kingdom. He knows the canon so well." And Pablo Hidalgo, he watches over all that story stuff. He's got his finger on the pulse of the fandom, and it's like. And you just kind of, that was the only source of information back then. So you were sort of like, oh, okay, I guess they know what Star Wars is. And then you actually fucking experience their shit. And it's like, oh, no, they have no idea what they're doing. These guys are idiots.
Oh my God. The expanded universe has always been canon. Only idiots who hate Star Wars think it's not canon. Sorry, not going to work. We are both respectively lore keeper. Recognized by Lucasfilm? Oh my God, you're tooting your own horns. I don't even think Lucasfilm knows you exist. Hey, Captain Phoebius, welcome to the stream, my man.
Greetings, puzzle brother.
This game is already a fail. All roads lead to the woke republic, then to the Crapolite, and ultimately the Disney trilogy.
So, fun fact: the High Republic, I'm pretty sure is
it's dead.
I'm pretty sure those books, because I work a lot. I need like 8 hours of basically content to listen to while I do a blue collar job. And so I listen to a shit ton of audiobooks. And the woke republic is literally what pushed me into the whole evil right wing sphere, including leading me here, because like that was when I finally just checked out of the audiobooks completely. It was several books into that series.
Like once you get to a rock being a Jedi, you just kind of have to know when to quit.
Oh, and I'm pretty willing to accept kind of just generic slop because I'm just like, you know what? I'm just looking for something to fill my ears while I do a more physical kind of job that doesn't require a lot of brain power. So I need a story to listen to. And once they started going like, once they get like their 36 fucking lesbian relationship and they're just like, Jim, I'm just like, what is this? Is this narrator having a stroke? And they're like, oh no, that's the actual pronouns that they're using. It's XIM. It's just like, well, now I can't even understand your English, so I'm gonna stop listening.
Don't tell me the woke republic has that.
It does. Oh, it 100% does.
Has what? I was busy reading the comments.
It was,
what?
They were saying the pronouns of the one character, and they were like, "G doesn't like this. Jim is very offended."
Oh my God!
And I'm listening. I'm literally driving a car, and I'm listening to it because I have it hooked up through my phone. I'm like, what did they just say? And I had to like rewind it, and I'm like, I don't understand. What are they talking about? And I have to like bring up the dialogue, and I'm like, oh, they're using like those weird neo pronouns that even liberals say like, oh, well, nobody actually uses those. It's like, no, they're using them in the Star Wars book right now. It's actually crazy.
No wonder fucking Wikipedia added pronouns.
The other thing that was like kind of the straw that broke the camel's back was a Padme. There was a whole series on Padme's Queen's Guard. Like the Keira Knightley character in the Phantom Menace.
Sub-A.
Oh yeah, there was a whole Padme novel which had was talking about women's periods.
Well, and I'm pretty sure they hint very strongly at. I'm pretty sure it's the Keira Knightley character has like lesbian feelings for Padme. Like the imitation queen, where they're like, oh, I don't know, this Anakin guy seems pretty toxic, like even before he turns evil or anything. And she's just like, oh, it's whatever, Padme, it's okay. Like you shouldn't be with a man. That's clearly what fucked you up.
Oh my God. Okay, hang on. One more comment before we get to the video. Darth Chaco, so the other guy. Having read 150 Wedgins books and being a massive Wedgins fan, I can tell you the EU wasn't canon. Lucasfilm straight up released a companion guide to the EU prior to the Disney sale that outlines exactly what is and what isn't canon. And you, of course, never decide to bring up an actual source from the damn book. I imagine you are pretty young and just weren't around then. People like you who constantly spread hate in the community are the reason we didn't get more content during the prequel. Wow.
The pot calling the kettle black.
It's not like, we had a whole, micro series about the Clone Wars. It's not like we had a Clone Wars multimedia project. It's not like we had several video games surrounding the prequels. It's not like we had action figures. It's not like we had tons of media. And it's not the prequels' fault that they came out like 20 years after the original trilogy did.
And even people who were critical of the prequels or whatever, they still took those books as canon. I know because I was a kid who wasn't particularly fond of like I didn't get the prequels on like DVD and rewatch them all the time, but I looked at the Jedi Apprentice books and I played all the fucking games, Force Unleashed, all that shit. It was like, yes, this is canon. Like
exactly. Like why
no
would
kid
people
thought,
like
oh,
Matthew
this is a
Stover-
separate canon. Yeah.
Like why would Matthew Stover be allowed to say it was canon? Everything they written was canon, and not why would he be allowed to say that? And oh, it was never canon. Like why say it's canon if it wasn't?
Yeah, like I remember with Force Unleashed and Starfighter, I said, "Oh wow, it's nice to see what else is going on besides the movies." Like with Force Unleashed, oh, so this is what was happening between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, or with Starfighter. So this is happening during the Phantom Menace, and it's like, this is cool. This is definitely canon.
And KOTOR is part of the EU. It is freaking canon.
Yeah. Well, and it's not dependent on whether you like something or not. Like, I didn't even make it very far into the Jedi Apprentice novels, but I never went like, oh, well, that's not the story. Like, even as a kid, I was like, oh, this just isn't part of the story that I am personally interested in. And I dropped it. But I wasn't like, oh, this isn't the real story. Like, I hope that somebody says the real story someday. Like, and what was the other? Oh, yeah, KOTOR. Like, whenever people would review that and shit, they were just like, oh, it's set, 4,000 years or whatever.
About, thousands of years before
Yeah.
Yoda's even freaking born.
Yeah, and behind the Phantom Menace and everything. And even people who would make fun of the stories, like X-Plane shit, whenever they were reviewing the games back in the day, they're like, oh, they're making another super weapon, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, they never called it non-canon. So it is, regardless of what you thought of it, people took it as canon. So even in the worst case scenario where, everybody's making fun of everything, they still did not say it was not canon back in the day. Like, I lived through it. You can't lie to me.
Like, I kind of lived through it too, being a kid who grew up in 2000. And, I was born in 2004.
I was born in the year 2000.
I'm 92.
So, like,
I'm the old man here.
Like, but we're all old enough to know, like, the EU was canon.
Yeah, like, nobody questioned it. There was never a question of like, oh, is this book canon or not? It was always just like, oh, it's a Star Wars book. It is a Star Wars book. Like, it is the Star Wars canon.
All right.
The Old Republic was not on my bingo card for 2025 after numerous.
We're going to skip to the
This
reaction.
mole-faced fuck.
I like these two have. Oh, we got the Grogu doll. We got the Grogu doll.
Look, Grogu licks my mole and I love it.
Choco fucking looks like an Theory Netflix adaptation.
I've said this before when I've covered this guy on other channels. It's like, he just looks tired. He's tired of running Disney Defense. He's like, he's tried so hard for so long. He's just like,
now we just got to wait for him to pull a Chris Stuckman and just stop doing it entirely. Because it was like,
can't grow facial hair either, by the way. Like, look at that weak ass mustache. Got nothing.
I can grow a better mustache.
Made with eggs from Midwest
Farms. Oh no, real mayo.
I haven't shaved in a while.
Those burgers look good. Anyway, I'm getting hungry.
My dad actually owns a pair of Meta glasses now. And he takes full advantage of them.
Are they
anyway.
like Google Glass where you can like watch internet and shit while you're on them?
No, but he can like get it to play like music and stuff.
Ah.
Move to the thoughts.
Listen,
I think we should move to the thoughts and reviews so I don't get copyright claimed.
Casual Chris brings up the encyclopedias and such. Yeah, on episode 1, I had it was like the schematics of all the droid deployers and all that stuff. And
which books are those? I want them.
Oh, it had, gosh.
I think it's one of the books where they cut open the ship and you can see like the interiors.
Yeah, exactly.
I have one of those. I'll have to send a picture on like the Discord later because I do have because my dad had those and he handed them to me earlier this year. I haven't had time to flip through them yet, but it's like you got.
Yes, I want them so at least I can look at the PDFs and skim through them.
The PDFs. Why do you look at those guys?
I left their comments on their video. I hope they're big mad by them. Oh, I guarantee you they will be, because I can leave a comment on one. Like I left a comment on another channel's video. Someone who was running defense for Andor, and he crashed out hard because I ended up making the mistake of friending him on Discord, and because he wanted to debate with me, and I politely declined. I originally accepted it, but then I decided not to do it. So he ends up crashing out real hard over Andor. It was funny.
Andor fans, they'll like seek out any dissent and try to like snuff it out. They're obsessive.
But Andor Vex had a very heroic sacrifice when he was electrocuted and thrown out of a fucking reactor shaft.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Oh, that was a teaser trailer, but
why are you holding your headphones? Like
great in terms of visuals. I think
teaser trailers always usually look good. Yeah, that's not reflective of the game itself.
Yeah, they're like I mentioned when we were watching, it's like the Aura farming shots. It's just like, oh, they're gonna do big sweeping landscape shots and play blah. Like that's easy. You can fill up 90 seconds with that pretty easily. Big space shots, big landscape shots.
Like I'll say this because back when I was a bit more stupid, I was watching like the Sonic Frontier teaser trailers, which are expertly animated by Marza, like all the Sonic trailers are. And originally, like the opening cinematic cutscenes for Sonic games were animated by them, but now they just don't do it anymore because Sega is just a bunch of hacks. But it was like I got really hyped for those because it was like they did tease such an interesting and great premise. And then the game itself is one of the most boring pieces of garbage I've ever played. I hated it. It also had to do with the fact I was involved in the rumor mill at the time. Like I was getting caught up on all those channels that were like promoting, rumors and crap.
What sort of rumors are there for a new Sonic game? Is it like it's going to involve Rouge the Bat?
Yes, it was stuff like that.
Yeah.
It checked all of the, boxes that I was hoping.
Oh, guys, it checked all the boxes.
Oh, wow. That sounds really exciting. It's like, I wanted this, this, and this. Excellent. It has checked these boxes. I am very hyped now.
But did it have diversity?
Oh, God. How fucking robotic do you have to be to, like, get hyped by checked boxes?
Where, the first thing we said, or the first thing that Chaco said that I agree with is that the world should look different. And
it doesn't look all that different, dude. It's just a rainy pile of mud. It looks like that one mud planet from Solo, which I guarantee nobody remembers.
Yeah. Oh, where he where he met Chewie, right?
Yeah,
where
that planet. Like, it looked like that.
Oh, it's crazy. Who are we even fighting, guys? Yeah, that wasn't forced at all. And then I was thinking of the Rogue One planet where they fight the TIE
the one where
like
he's going to take a pot shot at Jin's father.
Yeah, where her dad dies. Yeah, where it's like he gets blown up on the platform conveniently before any of the characters actually have to face a moral quandary. Yeah, Stardust. It's
at
like, we
least
had that
in
one
this
previous scene. Yippee
teaser. It doesn't show a very bustling and a very busy galaxy. I hesitate to.
Eclipse also kind of did that. Like Eclipse didn't really show that either. A lot of these trailers kind of don't.
It's like it showed one planet briefly. If not every planet is going to be Coruscant.
It's not going to be Coruscant or Nar Shaddaa.
Oh,
whether that is of
go on Nar Shaddaa. I'm just thinking of Star Wars.
A Rakatan.
Oh my God, Choco, clear up your screen.
That kind of arc that we saw. What are your thoughts? What are your immediate origins? That kind of arc that we saw. What are a Rakatan? Hesitate to speculate whether that is of a Rakatan origin. That
Ricotta,
kind of arc that we saw.
Rakatan.
I like ricotta cheese. That's very good on like pizza.
Ricotta cheese.
What are your thoughts? What are your immediate thoughts?
That it's ricotta.
Oh, he's chilling.
That's absolutely my immediate thought. Which
That's your
is
thought?
canon, right? We do
know this thing and it's canon. Wow, how exciting!
What is?
Ricotta apparently he's like, oh, that it's ricotta and that it's canon. That was his two immediate thoughts.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, they're going to bring this into canon.
It's been into canon since 2003.
Simply having something from like the books or whatever will never make something good. It's just like, it's like me going, I don't know. I'm thinking of like a if a Naruto fucking teaser comes out and they have a hidden cloud village symbol, I'm like, oh well, it's got the hidden cloud, and that's going to be canon. Like that doesn't make it good. Like it just has a thing. Like, it's so easy to impress. They're just like, it's that thing from the thing I know. Yippee!
It's the guy from the thing. They're the type diabetics that can be on the treadmill for 5 minutes and get off.
Oh, these guys are, they're struggling.
These people are going to be able to come in here and create their own canon.
Wait, so is it canon or are they making their own? I don't know.
That was worded so poorly.
Yeah.
The story, so they are going to be able to create their timeline, to create the events that are.
No, there's one timeline. It's supposed to be the canon timeline.
Yeah, Star Wars doesn't have multiple timelines.
They're going to make their own timeline. In other words, I'm not going to hold them accountable for any inaccuracies they have, and I'll give them credit for anything they establish, even though if we have multiple timelines, it means that doesn't even matter.
Oh my God. I actually remember someone on Twitter was saying, oh, because KOTOR's, Fate of the Republic's going to do its own thing, so we shouldn't judge it or compare it to KOTOR.
Oh, people just want to give creators a pass for everything. And just
I don't you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have to lower your standards. You shouldn't have to give them, it's one thing if you're kickstarting a franchise, it's always going to be a little rough. Or, something doesn't, aid. Like, for example, I give Dark Empire a pass because how the hell was Tom Veitch supposed to know that Lucas was going to create a Chosen One prophecy?
Yeah.
It's cases like that where it's like, okay, you can give them a pass because it's like, how the hell were they supposed to oversee that?
Mm-hmm.
But here it's like, no, you shouldn't give them an excuse.
It's just like, it basically is an excuse for like, oh, the authors, they shouldn't have to do any research because they're making their own thing, but also they get the benefit of the brand name, but also they're making their own timeline, so we should totally pay attention because they're establishing a canon. It's like, well, you just said canon doesn't matter essentially, so why the fuck should I care if they're making another one that doesn't matter?
Oh, right. Captain Thievius told me about this when I shared it out last night. Casey Hudson is the director for this game. For those who don't know or forgot, Hudson is responsible for the Mass Effect 3 ending and Anthem.
Oh, Shields Marauder, R.I.P.
I'm just about to start the Mass Effect 3 playthrough.
Oh God.
Sorry, you have no context for what I just referenced, but you will when you get to it. You'll know. But
At you.
Yeah,
but
it's like the EU, whenever people cover that, it's like they talk about the authors, and the author will be like, "Oh yeah, so I heard I was getting this project, and so I went and I read everything because I was so excited." It's like that's what you want in someone.
Like, I think it was even that the KOTOR writer, like the writer for KOTOR, wasn't even a Star Wars fan, yet he did his research and ended up making one of the greatest, not just one of the greatest Star Wars video games of all time, but one of the greatest RPGs of all time.
Yeah, you should be excited to study the thing. Whatever you're given the keys to the kingdom. It's like if I'm given like an Elder Scrolls game, you better be damn well sure I'm gonna go play an Elder Scrolls game, and I'm gonna read every goddamn book on the shelves, and I'm gonna be like, all right, who knows the most about this lore? I'm just gonna call them and consult with them and everything. And
like you should understand the gist. You should understand like the gist and the history of something before you contribute to it.
Well, and just like people treat it as a chore, and it's like
lore is a chore.
Yeah, you should be excited to get into that because guess what? You get to expand on a tapestry that people are invested in and love.
Well, again, the reason why I say that these people are bored or they consider it boring is because they're not actually fans. They're only in it because it's a trend to them. Because, you know, the MCU, it was like the 90s was like a renaissance for all of these, franchises because suddenly you have the ability to write, more complex stories. You could have, better quality animation. So you got stuff like the Animaniacs, Looney Tunes made a comeback, Tom and Jerry kind of made a comeback because it was like they never directly went away, but the quality definitely improved. You had stuff like the Animaniacs, Freakazoid,
even the original
Batman
Star
the animated
Wars
series
was kind of that 20-year kind of rule where it was like he watched Buck Rogers and then he was like, oh, I want to kind of bring this back, but maybe add something to it as well.
Yeah. But anyway, it was like the 90s was a renaissance for all these franchises that kind of continued into the early 2000s and then really exploded with the MCU. And now you have Hot Topic stores. You have all these different stores like FYE where they sell like very easily accessible, not directly well-made merchandise all the time. You have like your backpacks, your meme t-shirts, your statues, stuff like that. But it's like nobody engages with the source material. Like you'll see like a lot of the shells, they have like a bunch of crappy stuff that you can get at any store or like the $100 Stormtrooper helmets or the Funko Pops.
Oh,
Funko
Pops is it's the number one indicator where it's like if you just have a wall of Funko Pops and you seem to have the most base knowledge, it's because you want to be involved in the thing, but you're not actually passionate about it to where you're eager to like learn more.
But what are stories but mystery boxes?
Like, again, being a fan now of these franchises, being involved with Star Wars, being involved with Marvel or DC, it's done as a trend. It's not because these people are sincerely getting into it. It's like you have you get bullied in high school because you like Spider-Man. And then eventually you turn around and the bully, eventually figures out that this thing that, you bullied people over is actually profitable. So you pretend to act like, oh, hey, I'm a Spider-Man fan too. Then you take over and then you start bullying the genuine fans.
You guys, I shouldn't have to know, like, I shouldn't have to defer to you who's like been a fan forever. I got in like 5 minutes ago and I read the wiki. Like, what's the big deal?
Like Marvel doesn't even hire comic fans to write their stuff anymore.
Well, and with the creators, what this expands to is that they want to advance their career and they know that nobody gives a shit about their story. So they want to attach the brand name to it. And then they'll sort of like bastardize in, and whenever people point out like, hey, that doesn't really fit the story, or this character that you used, they would never act like that, they're just like, oh, we shouldn't get so bogged down you shouldn't get so bogged down in all these details. It's like, no, you should get bogged down in them and not bogged down in them. You should take advantage of them, or make your own original character if you really want to make something so radically different. Like, just care and be enthusiastic. Like, you shouldn't treat it should never seem like a chore, because me as a fan, I'm excited to read the new thing. So why are you, as a creator who's given all this shit, who gets paid to just know shit, like who gets paid to work in this universe, why are you not excited? Like, you should be able to give way more enthusiasm than I give, and you can't even give a fraction of it. Like, what's wrong with you?
I know what you mean. Peacemaker did terrible things to Vigilante. The 80s incarnation that he was based on got darker as the comic progressed. James Gunn turned him into Temu Deadpool. And again, it's
from what I can see and from what I know of, this director, is that we're gonna get Mass Effect is my favorite game series of all time. We're gonna get.
I bet
what Mass Effect? I'm waiting to see, like,
if he says Mass Effect 3 or any game after that.
Is he gonna try to blend them all together?
Detailed storytelling here, right? Then that's what I want. This is gonna.
Okay, he's not gonna say it.
Detailed storytelling. That's pretty general. Okay.
It's not like, the first KOTOR game had detailed storytelling. It wasn't like you could go to an NPC and learn about the history of the Mandalorian Wars, why Revan fell to the dark side, stuff like that.
You could even get some summaries from the NPCs for the Tales of the Jedi comics when they talk about Exar Kun and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be a very story-driven game.
RPGs in general are story-driven games. What the crap?
This is just like brush it off, super general shit. It's just like, oh, it's gonna have story. It's gonna be story-driven. It'll have
what
lore.
Story? Like, what did the Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor? Are those not story-driven games? Like those, like Fallen Order story is extremely basic and forgettable. And does kind of read like a bad fan fiction. But it's like Survivor's worse.
Survivor to me is the classic, like, oh, we can't actually progress the story, so we're just going to rewind and break everybody up so that we can bring them back together again.
And there's no reason for them to be breaking up. Like, you guys are on the run from the Empire. Why the frick would you break up?
I thought of that immediately whenever that story started. I'm like, so we're all, it's just like the new Star Trek movies where, like, we're going to break up the band every movie so we can get them back together throughout the thing. And then we'll go on one mission at the end that, like, maybe advances us a step.
It's not like, there's supposed to be a crew on a starship.
Remember, like, I shouldn't even say remember because I recently got into this, but, like, that was the thing that stood out when I started the actual EU was I was like, oh shit. They're not just rewinding all the story arcs. Like,
they actually have arcs that progress. Yeah. Like Princess Leia has an arc after Return of the Jedi about embracing the Skywalker heritage.
Yeah. And Han Solo, he doesn't like abandon all of his family. He becomes a family man. And that's his story, is how to balance that with a new conflict, with all of his old.
And he never goes back to smuggling. He, stays a prim and proper. I mean, yeah, he kidnaps Leia and because he tries to woo her.
And he's got his connections that he can sometimes kind of tap into a little bit, but he never uses it as some sort of excuse, and it's never used to, like, drive a wedge between them. And they go through hardships, but they don't just suddenly go like, I abandon you.
Like, they go through the Solos get tossed through so much shit, and it's like Leia and Han never at any point. Like, I remember, because I haven't gone terribly far into the New Jedi Order outside the first novel. But I remember OG Star Wars shared a clip of an audiobook where Han and Leia are talking at, like, Chewie's wake. And I love how it's like Han is reflecting on how he blames himself for Chewie coming along.
That's Jedi Eclipse, yeah.
Like, I love Han's characterization. He is a good person. He always has been, even back during his smuggler days. I mean, he literally named his first ship after the woman he loved, Bria Theron, after he heard she died. Like, Han was never a bad person. He just was raised up in bad circumstances.
Even characters that don't get much of screen time, like Wedge Antilles.
Orlando.
Yeah, and like Wedge in the X-Wing series gets quite a lot of development.
Exactly. Detailed storytelling. Well, these people don't pay attention to details. Whenever someone points out inconsistencies, they get mad at you for not blindly consuming product. Non-canon. Okay, we're being called non-canon shills because we shill for the EU.
Oh, damn.
Fake fan.
Yeah, this
Gunn
guy.
heretic.
Okay, from what I hear, this guy crashed out during the whole Darth Momo drama that happened months ago. The one that happened where it was like he was going around screaming that the EU wasn't canon. He was going to make that 6-hour dumpster fire, proving the EU wasn't canon. He stirred up drama between me, OG, and Scran. And apparently, because Scran was trying to be nice to Momo, he was trying to be like, hey, let's have a civilized discussion about this. This idiot crashed out over it and unsubbed. And now, for whatever reason, he's obsessed with my channel.
Burn the heretic.
Well, and
Kill the mutant.
What Captain Devious was saying, it's so true. It's like they just think that random ass details that they just want lore. And they don't care if it's consistent or if it makes sense.
Like looping it back around to Screen Crush. It's for the sake of those 57 Easter eggs that you might have missed videos.
They're like, oh, look at this symbol. It's from this random planet that was brought up in this other novel. It's like, great. That doesn't add anything.
Like
it's they just take it, and it goes back to the whole like checking boxes thing, because they will be like, oh, this planet kind of represents Puerto Rico in space. And they like that sort of lazy one-to-one, like kind of parallel, because then they can say like, oh, that's deep world building. It's like, no, it's lazy world building. You're just copy pasting from the real world. Like, that's boring. Make up your own shit.
They can't. They have to rip from something superior.
Well, and they're only... since they're so uncreative, they'll either rip it off from the old EU, or they'll just go like, oh, here's real world thing. I'll just put that in Star Wars, and that will make it deep.
The guy I was arguing with over Andor, one of my first criticisms was they put an F-bomb in Star Wars, and he immediately crashed out like, oh, you're arguing that Disney swears. It's not, they use English, and I'm trying to explain to him like in universe it's referred to as galactic basic, and he's not paying attention. He's just calling me an idiot, a retard. Like, I bet he's probably going to make a video about me in the near future about our attempt of a discussion. This is why I refuse to debate with him. It's because he's so unfair.
Debates are often just to try to get sound bites. That's why it's I'm
actually surprised that the first debate I've ever had like on this channel actually went as well as it did.
Burnbot?
Yeah, the Burnbot one before Burnbot kind of crashed out.
Oh no.
Because he's friends with Lucky Kennedy. For me, this just shows how the EU has stronger storytelling than anything from 2008 Clone Wars or Disney Star Wars. Again, exactly. It's
God.
The expanded universe should be held to the gold standard of, maintaining continuity, keeping everything consistent, keeping the lore consistent. It should be the gold standard, yet you hardly ever see anyone ever bring up the EU in a broader conversation like that.
Dude, 2008 Clone Wars, Filoni, my God, do you stupefy everything? It's like, just very generally, like, kids shows, I get they need to be more straightforward and to the point, but holy crap, Filoni thinks all kids are retards. He's just like, he's like, I have to have every character say the lesson of the episode, and I have to condense it down to 22 minutes, and I have to make every battle just be straight lines at each other because I'm too stupid to think three-dimensionally. Like, oh my God, it's simple-minded.
Yeah, and it's like I've seen people actually use that argument of, oh, it's a kid show. It can't go as in-depth as something else. And I'm like, you have something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, both the 2003 and the 2012 shows, which were able to be dark and handle mature themes with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But these people that say, oh, it's just a kid show, are the same ones that say, oh no, this isn't really a kid show because people get stabbed.
Like,
you know,
it gets to
when
a
I
point
was
where
a kid, Justice League Animated had some pretty damn good stories. They got pretty complicated. They continued week to week and everything. Guess what? That show was like 2001 to 2004, I think. So I would have been like 9 to 13 as it was going on, I followed along just fine. And
Again,
I loved it. And even in anime, Dragon Ball started like didn't start, but it aired in the US like starting in 1998. And as like a 6-year-old, I loved that it had a continuous week to week story and that it had, villains that would not be defeated in a week.
Or Star Wars. Again, George said that the movies can be understood by a 12-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know people will try and argue that Star Wars is for kids, but I always argue, it's more supposed to be for all adults because as you grow up, you notice more and more things about it.
Mm-hmm. Great stories.
Go
ahead.
Connecting it to Transformers, which I wanted to discuss. Beast Wars had the guts to kill off characters and have the villains win every now and then. And that is considered a kid's show.
Yep.
A show that literally has a running gag of, torturing Waspinator because they couldn't stand his voice.
Well, it's just like, the kids notice a lot more than you think, and they're a lot smarter than you think. And I think Dave Filoni is actually dumber than the normal child, is why he can't come up with a good story for them.
Most writers are dumber than children.
It's just like, literally, if I was watching that as a kid, which I kind of was, I mean, like teenager, it's like, you see a few frames of that and you're just like, oh, this has been done way better. This has been like, I've seen way better
like the
shit
Velma,
than this.
like the Velma show is much more immature than like something like Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like, well, Tartakovsky Clone Wars, since we're talking Star Wars, is like a perfect example. It's like, that had awesome storytelling and they did it in such short episodes. It's like
with hardly any dialogue too.
Yep. Tartakovsky is a master of visual storytelling, be it Samurai Jack or I haven't watched much of Primal, but Samurai Jack and Clone Wars are my two main examples with him. And it's just like, holy shit, you say so much with just animation and just facial
I wish we
expressions.
were in a timeline where he actually did get to do a full-on Clone Wars show.
God, I mean, just let
that would have
him
been
and Filoni
heaven.
each make a show at the same time and see which one people are more interested in. And you should have made your decision based on that, because I guarantee you it would have been Tartakovsky.
Because I actually was arguing with someone who apparently doesn't like the 2003 microseries, and their only complaints are something like nitpicking, like, oh, General Grievous is blue when he's first introduced, or the Vulture droids are not painted in the Trade Federation colors in the Battle of Course. It's like, it's very, very little minor nitpicking.
Heresy.
Imagine like they make that argument and you're like, yeah, how about we compare it to the 2008 Grievous and
the one who ran
gets killed,
the one who couldn't
Gungans.
even kill a damn Padawan.
Yeah, it gets beat by Padawans and Gungans and like is a complete shit show, like comedy fest. He kills a fish. That's about his big claim to fame.
Again, I didn't want this to be a game where we kind of sit in a car and we drive past and see all the highlights of stuff we've already seen.
No idea
before.
what this game is going to be. This
You know what I
is
mean?
a cinematic trailer. It tells us nothing about the gameplay or
because
how the game will
cinematic
be.
trailers suck.
Yeah, it tells you nothing about the game. A cinematic trailer, a pre-rendered one like this, it's like it could be exactly what you're describing. It could be the complete opposite. I have no fucking idea.
Like, I get something of a teaser trailer, being meant to tease, but then there's a fact where it's like, you got to give us something to be excited for. Like, show us something to be like what to expect. Like, I remember I was like, again, going back to Sonic Frontiers, one of the banes of my existence, one of the games one of the pieces of media I genuinely hate, because Ian Flynn, the writer of that game, is to Sonic the Hedgehog what Dave Filoni is to Star Wars.
Ooh.
He even wears a cowboy hat, believe it or not.
Oh no.
It was like in the teaser trailer for Frontiers and in the first trailer, they have like this symbol that represents like a zap sign, the word zap. and it has literally nothing to do with the actual game itself. The symbol only shows up like in the sky and doesn't really apply to anything. I don't even think it has any story significance. It's like you tease this, and you had people speculating like, oh, is it going to be called Sonic Zap or what have you?
Sonic Electric.
And it was like nothing. Damn nothing, because Ian Flynn is another hack writer who relies on, referencing the previous material, to get an audience.
I don't want this to be like Star Tours, the game, So,
oh my God, do not speak ill of Star Tours. And on top of that, how the hell do you compare an amusement park ride to an RPG?
I don't know. He's making up some imaginary, like, super bad scenarios so that anything that comes out he can paint as a positive success.
Like, if you want an example of a bad RPG, do something like Paper Mario's and Sticker Star.
Ooh, taking a shot at Paper Mario and the Sticker Star.
That game sucks. Everyone punches down on it. I mean, to be fair, I punch down on modern in Nintendo in general. I hate that company.
Like, it looks like we're definitely seeing something new in a new place with what looks like,
Oh, he is definitely reaching. Like, he is desperate to describe this
They
game.
do not look at their faces. They're not excited about this. They have to try to pretend they are.
Yeah, he looks like he's at the very least putting on a bit of a convincing performance because of his mouth. This guy just isn't. I think I find him worse than Chaco.
Yeah, he definitely has a harder, because even whenever he's saying like, I'm excited, he's sort of like Star Wars Theory, and that like he'll be like, yeah, I thought it was super dope. I'm super excited about it.
Theory,
like, I don't believe you. I'm sorry.
I don't know how people like Theory get to be the faces of a fandom when you can clearly tell they don't give a crap at all. Like, it baffles me. Here I am, a passionate Star Wars fan, yet I'm sitting at 515 subs, while Theory gets to, have early access and all this crap. It's an unjust world.
But like this guy especially, he's just like, he's shilling, but he's doing it so unenthusiastically. It's just like, dude, you sound exhausted even trying to do this. You need to take a break from Star Wars, if anything. Like,
oh my God, he has like a Tales of the Empire shirt.
Oh God.
That
Heresy.
Some type of exploratory team. I don't know. I just think there could be a lot of really cool stuff we can explore here.
Look at the camera, at least. There you go. A little bit.
What?
The guy, Element, he's like looking down the whole time. He's just like,
like, I think he understands that we're going to come after him at some point. Like, he knows he's on a watch list.
Like, at least be courteous to your co-host and like be looking in and be like nodding and stuff.
Like you can't see my face for obvious reasons, but I'm staring at the screen the whole time.
It's like you don't even look like you're listening to him, Element. Like, you just look like you're like, oh, when is he gonna finish talking so I can wrap this video up?
Oh God.
Other thing that comes to mind, of course, I want to preempt this because we do deal with a lot of that crowd. That's a female.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's a female.
He's going there. He is going there. Taking a shot at fans who are going to be complaining.
Like the canonical player character of KOTOR 2 is a female. When have you seen people bitching about it?
Here's the thing. Whenever people complain that Star Wars fans are sexist, I'm like, what? That is the worst. You could use the Star Wars fandom is the worst example you could use when you have Mara Jade, Bastila Shan, Shakti, Barriss Offee, Callista, Ayla Secura, Ara Singh, Ventress. You have so many great female characters in Star Wars. Nomi Sunrider. You have entire.
Well,
yeah.
Here's what they consider sexist, which is you don't automatically love every piece of media that has a female lead. It has to automatically make it a 10 out of 10. Otherwise, you're a sexist. Don't judge it on its merits. You just have to see if there's a vagina in it, and therefore it has to be perfect.
Like, I normally don't play as women in video games I mean, I'm not against it. You know, I played a little bit of the Tomb Raider remaster, and stuff like that. But typically it's like, I have no problem with females being leads. I love, for example, Hawkgirl in the Justice League cartoon. Like she's honestly one of my favorites. It's not that we're sexist. It's just the quality of the writing needs to be spot on. And Disney hasn't given us a single good project.
Well, there's a difference between if you have a female lead and if you are leaning on the fact that they are female.
You know, hiding behind their gender or their race, like what they did with Moses Ingram.
Well, and also not making them not even like, and not even making them like women. It's just like, oh, we're going to have a female lead, but she's also going to be like a mechanic, as they said in The Acolyte. And we're just going to have them just like talk and act and dress like men anyway. So it's like, what the fuck is the point even then? It's like, you're not even trying to diversify your storytelling. You're just putting a skin on a character that's already there. You're just making a female Han Solo. It's like Cave S is basically the reference for that, where it's like, oh, great pilot and smuggler. Let's just put an ugly woman's skin on her and give her like negative A cups. Like,
which is like the service to the actress who actually did the face modeling.
Yeah.
Because it was like, and the problem with that scenario is it can actually hurt the actress, because it was like when Marvel Spider-Man 2 was coming out, everybody, you know, instantly noticed when they made Mary Jane look like a dude. And apparently a bunch of people blamed the woman, you know, they blamed the actress who face modeled, and it got so bad she actually has quit the industry forever as a result.
Well, I'm sure
even though it was never her fault, there actually was a image circulating around of the writer for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and she looks dead on for Mary Jane in that game. It's a self-insert.
Oh yeah, it's 100% just like jealous women who just like want to make everybody as ugly as them, who are writing and developing these things.
Like, I don't know how you don't sue the people for that then.
Yep, you at least never work with them again. But you know, Element here, I'm sure that he had no problem with all the negative articles about, you know, Black Myth Wukong or a Stellar Blade, very famously starring a woman who happened to have big tits and everything. And it's like, there were about 1 million hit pieces that came out before that game where it was like, you know, problematic male gaze. Oh, this game.
And then there's like a billion and then I think there's like a billion mods that put her into skimpy. Like, I don't know if those are like official costumes or if it's, you know.
So it had a lot of skimpy costumes, and a lot of people were like, oh, this lead developer, he I think it was like IGN France or something, was like, basically, this guy, he needs to see a real woman sometime. And then he revealed, in the ultimate owning of every fucking idiotic game journalist, he's like, yeah, it's actually modeled after my wife. And they were like, oh, we retract our article. Oh, we're sorry. Very unprofessional. It's like, shut the fuck up.
IGN's a joke.
But there was so many like pre-hit pieces on like, this game's gonna suck because it's Gunner material. It's so bad. And then
like whenever they do
pretty damn good.
Whenever they do preemptive strikes, it's either the thing they're releasing is going to be really, really shit, like the Kenobi show or the Acolyte, or it's going to be really, really good, like with Stellar Blade.
Oh yeah, the preemptive fluff they'll definitely do for bad shit, where they're like, you know, anybody who doesn't like this, they actually just hate black people because Moses Ingram. Look at this one random comment we found of this guy who said something racist. Therefore, all the criticism is actually just racism. It's like, oh wow, that's nice.
One racist apple doesn't make the whole tree racist.
Like the local elf killer guy from Twitter, and you know the guy.
Well, I don't know that one specifically.
I know there was someone on Twitter who tried again to do because it was like, there's going to be those accounts that say name something that did this or name a movie that did this. Like, so there was a guy who answered the question, name an actress who got way too much hate, and they said Reva, and you know exactly why, you know, people hate her. And then I hop in and I'm like, it has nothing to do with her race. It has to do with her character. They hate the character, not the actress. And then she's like, oh, are you going to ignore the racist comments? And I'm like, okay, there's always going to be those kind of people in every fandom, but they're the minority. Yep. Just because someone says something racist doesn't mean every hater is a racist.
Oh, and just turning it around on them. It's like, oh, well, do you think this person who mentioned that she was a beautiful black queen, does that mean that I can't take their praise seriously because they're being racist? Like, they're just praising it because it's black. And it's like, oh, well, that's different because we should celebrate. It's like, oh, okay, well,
we can celebrate, but we can celebrate a black queen. But when said black queen is,
well, my point is it's not automatically good or bad just because
if it's black.
So, like, call out the people that say it's automatically good just because it's diverse. Like, that's bullshit just as much as the people say it's automatically bad just because it's diverse. It's like but it's only ever called out one way by like mainstream and media types. And so it's like, yeah, you guys are bullshitting. Like, you will happily accept praise just for having diversity.
That's such a dumb argument. My favorite Green Lantern is Jon Stewart. I like War Machine more than Iron Man, and Emil was my favorite Spartan in Noble Team. How am I bad for disliking Miles? Yeah, I get called racist all the time every time I call out Miles. I literally got the internet angry at me for like the billionth time this year because I put out a YouTube post that pissed off Lucky Kennedy where I said we didn't need an Asian or a black Spider-Man. Peter Parker was all we needed. And that got people calling me racist.
Like, imagine how they would react to the guy that said some racist remarks to OG Star Wars. Remember that dude?
Yeah, I remember him now. I think John went to go take another shit.
Yeah, and like that guy is an actual racist.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to wait for John, then we're going to do this, and then we have one last video to get through. Dang, this is going to be my longest stream ever. I'm so sorry, guys. I was starting to wonder if the Screen Crush video was a bad idea to review.
It definitely took a while to...
Yeah, that's my problem, because we end up tending to like ramble on and on about stuff. But I like talking to people.
It's good to talk to our allies and brothers in arms.
Yeah, but it's like, but they always default to saying you're racist and you're sexist because they don't want to have a proper, debate. Sometimes I want to be like, hey, do you want to argue something? And then they'll be like, no, you're a racist, you're a sexist, or something like that.
Or again, or like the guy that called OG Star Wars. Well, I don't want to get you demonetized, but yeah, that guy. This Jag guy from Twitter.
Yeah,
I remember when he called Ja the N-word.
Ooh.
And it wasn't joking or anything.
Yeah, because it was like I was asking about OG about Vapad. Oh, John's back. I was asking OG about Vapad, and then this guy starts arguing with me. OG gets involved, and then it spirals into an argument between the two of them. And that's when he started getting racist.
And he justified racism. And when I called him out, he said, oh, but race mixing is bad because, like, and whites are superior.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Solar, you get a question from Captain Thievius. By the way, Solar, I'm thinking of making an Iron Hands army. What 4K army are you interested in? Ooh. That's a Warhammer question, so that's not me.
Yeah, I'm still a novice in Warhammer, but I'm kind of interested in either the Salamanders or the Blood Angels.
All right.
Those are the ones I'm most interested in.
Okay, let's get this.
And I hesitate to assume that is like the protagonist, or if that's just part of the teaser. It's just a Jedi that's kind of exploring those ruins of that arc. But
then don't presume then. Freaking hell, don't presume.
They're gonna hate this.
Yeah, we're not going to hate it because a woman's leading. We hate it because it's Disney Star Wars. And because it's got the guy from Mass Effect 3 in it. Like, come on. Don't And yet somehow these idiots are sitting at 15,000 subs. Oof. Like, what the heck?
They probably
they're
bottom.
That
what
shallow.
Are they, JIA Cup?
They're that shallow.
You're that
they're
shallow.
that shallow. As I just try to pigeonhole all criticism into something so that I don't have to respond to any of it.
Also, 16 likes versus 15,000 subs. And this was 22 hours ago. Not good.
Oof. You guys are trying to hype something off a teaser CGI trailer and are basically already saying that any criticism of the game is sexism now.
That's because, again, they just want to... Again, the thing I've noticed is the Gatekeepers Alliance and people associated with them, supporters like myself, we're gaining, we're all gaining traction because you had like the fake Gatekeepers Alliance server where someone tried to frame them.
Yeah.
You had Shield Trooper trying to take a shot at them. It's like we're gaining traction, yet they still want to pretend like, oh, these are just, the sexist, the racist, a small portion of the fandom that hates it. They want to wipe us away.
Hating women.
Yeah, they want to wipe us. They want to present us as like a nameless entity that's, very small. Yet, again, the evidence is contrary. We're growing. The fact that you even acknowledge us at all lets us know we're getting under your skin. That we're genuinely something you're starting to be afraid of.
And just look at who cares more. Like, you listen to these guys talk and then you listen to one of us talk. It's like, I don't know. These guys seem to like bring up way more examples, actually delve into the subjects more, care a lot more. And meanwhile, these guys are just like, oh, so yeah, it showed some new locations.
Like theory.
And anyways, anybody who doesn't like it is just like a sexist or whatever. So anyways, rate, comment, subscribe, guys.
Like again, you can hear it in my voice. I literally freaking scream every single stream because I care. I care so damn much.
No, we don't have a story.
I assumed you were having sex, and that's why your camera was off.
No way, man. I'm a Catholic man. I'm not having sex till after I'm married.
Well, I didn't know you weren't married.
Actually seen this Jedi, and I'm just going off of the fact that they're femme presenting, at least
from what we have seen.
Don't use your bullshit terminology.
What the fuck does that even mean?
What was that, Solar?
What the fuck does that even mean?
I have no idea.
He's calling them fake fans, but he doesn't want to use the same terminology, so he's like, "Oh, they're fan presenting," and then I'm gonna call them bullshit
because they cannot for the life of them be associated with us. For their views cannot be aligned with ours, even for a split second. Nice face shock of the frame. I always have a knack for pausing on the best frames.
May be attractive enough to assuage.
Jesus, nobody's even talked about that in this.
What?
Like,
we didn't even get a good look at her to justify whether she's bankable or not.
God. They're just too programmed. They can't think for themselves. They're just like, oh, these guys just want a bunch of sex models and they hate women.
Oh my God.
Okay.
They literally tell me that I can't think for myself, yet these idiots are literally talking like robots.
And the morons that use AI to make a female character with big tits, like, oh, now the game's good. They don't help.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I hate AI.
Those guys are annoying, although half the time I feel like they're just kind of like trolling people and they fall for it, where they're like, because I'll even say, like, whenever they show like Abby from Last of Us 2 and they make her like hot, and I'm always like, well, it's great that she's hot, but the game still sucks. Like, I'll just respond.
Like,
it's hard to tell these days who's trolling and who's not.
Yeah, I feel like whenever they make like a lot of them are just engagement farming, because it'll be like the 36th one of like a very similarly worded post in that week where they're like, oh, why do developers hate to do this? And they'll just pick a different character each time. And it's just like, all right, guys, like, I get you're trying to make your bucks, but like, it's getting a little boring.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the designs for characters in The Last of Us Part 2, like the man syndrome that apparently Naughty Dog is still suffering from. I don't really see it too much in a lot of other stuff these days.
Intergalactic, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, because these are the same people that made Crash Bandicoot, where he had a hot girlfriend.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but it's not the same people.
Yeah, it's not the same people that make Crash.
Name, but studios fire developers and, boom and bust all the time. So by the time you reach 20 years, there's hardly anybody left from that game.
If these guys were into 40K, they would shield for female space marines and call us all incels for pointing out how it breaks lore. Yeah, because God forbid we actually give a crap about these franchises.
It just means you hate women. Well, I support the sisters. What is the faction? It's like the
Sisters of Battle.
Yeah,
and there's also the Sisters of Silence.
Yeah, so it's like, I support these women-only factions. We're like, oh, that's okay because women is good, women in STEM and stuff. But you can't support the men-only factions.
Even the Eldar, they're like a matriarchal society.
Yeah. So the point, there's a bunch of women's spaces that are made, and then like whenever there's one that's men only, it's like, oh, this is problematic. This needs corrected. It's like, no, it's just part of the fucking story, guys.
Like, you want unisex super soldiers, go to Halo.
And in the end, I think what a lot of it stems from is just like, they don't want there to be any biological difference, even though there is, but they have to pretend there isn't. So they like, no. You can't ever separate on that because there is no difference. We have to pretend everything is the same.
Yeah, Sisters of Battle, literally nuns with guns. I'm thinking Hitman Absolution when I hear that.
I know that mission in the cornfields
like nuns with flamethrowers. And they're so devout to their religion, they can literally cause miracles.
Yeah.
And they did in the interview with Casey Hudson, he did say that this was going to be a massive single player narrative RPG that, of course, brings back the emotional weight and the
I mean, it'll probably have as much weight as a freaking pebble.
Yeah, you can't say that you're going to have emotional weight beforehand. Let the players decide that.
Also, does that single player RPG, does that mean it will be like KOTOR, or will it be that they strip away the ability to have your partners around and interact with the world around you?
Well, single player, not linear. So I would assume based on that description that it'll be more like a KOTOR.
Because, yeah, you had it where you could be walking around, and if you had a specific member of your party, it would trigger a specific interaction. Like with Jahan, if you have Jahani with you when you step off onto Korriban, she meets like one of her old slavers, and that triggers a dialogue interaction.
Damn it, I just finished Korriban, and I never took Jahani.
Okay, so you missed that interaction.
But I did do Carthanesi's quest and save his son.
Consequence of choice. There's nothing else to be said. It is a spiritual successor to KOTOR. We're going to...
Oh, yeah, the same way Caped Crusader was a spiritual successful to Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, so just like take their word for it. Trust me, bro. And they said it's a spiritual successor, so that's what it is. Nothing else to be said. It's like, well, no, we can look at who's behind it. We can look at the history of the studio. We can look at, all this stuff. And absolutely,
put together a pattern of behavior.
Yeah.
Which again, I've had people say, don't throw stones, don't crap on this, blah, blah, blah. just focus on the stuff you enjoy. And I'm like, dude, I want to be excited for new stuff. The new stuff, however, just sucks.
Yep. And you know what? Quite frankly, when new stuff comes out and it is awesome, I'm happy to praise it.
Yeah,
or rediscovering old stuff.
Like I've been praising the Skybound Transformer comics because those are freaking excellent, and I've been doing the heavy lifting for Transformers as of late.
It's like yesterday I lowered my guard and let some of the hopium for Fate of the Old Republic to enter my bloodstream. Bad mistake.
Well, and I'm open-minded. Like, I'll play it if it turns out to be a banger. It's like, sure, I'll give it credit or whatever, but
it's still fake Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this fixes the canon, or like, oh, this redeems Disney or anything. At best, it could be like, oh, this basically like doesn't give a shit about it's kind of like a Picard season 3 scenario where they basically shat on the previous 2 seasons and all of Kurtzman Trek, and we're just like, yeah, none of that shit matters. We're just gonna do this one little story with our old characters, and it's gonna be basically in a bottle. And it's like, oh, well, that was nice. I'm gonna buy the bootleg Blu-ray of that at a con, and then I'm never going to touch the rest of Star Trek because it sucks.
Yeah, but it's very rare nowadays when you get something good from a major franchise.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that was basically shunned afterwards because the main showrunner is basically like, oh shit, that made all my stuff look bad, fuck you, and pushed him off to the side.
Of course.
To get a very emotionally
and even like rediscovering old stuff though, like I never played Final Fantasy VII until very recently, but I can go back and fairly judge it, and people are like, oh, you can't, they need to have the remake. Yeah, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, like that's what got me into the series. And then I went back and played the very old original Final Fantasy VII, and guess what? It's still fucking fantastic and has amazing storytelling. I don't give a shit that the characters don't look like modern graphics. You get over that in about the first 30 minutes of playing something, you stop thinking about that. Same thing with like Legend of Dragoon. I played for the first time this year, and that was awesome. That has like pixelated characters. It doesn't matter.
Like again, like people play Super Mario 64 and they have no problem with its retro style.
Yeah,
you
how get immersed after you play something for 30 minutes, an hour. You're immersed in the story. You're immersed in the gameplay. You're immersed in everything, and you stop caring about that shit. And yeah, if it has excellent writing and everything, you're not going to be like sitting there going like, well, this story's great, but ooh, blocky characters.
Like my favorite video game of all time is Half-Life, and like Half-Life 1 has that classic 90s graphics and models, and it's a very good game.
Exactly.
And speaking of graphics, you see this guy you and I often argue with on Twitter.
Oh, that idiot. The one I ended up having to block because he kept stalking my posts.
Yeah, he was like, yes, KOTOR needs a remake because the graphics are dated.
Oh my god, the graphics in KOTOR look great.
Best way to handle a remake is release the original version. This is what Metal Gear Solid 3 did. Like, they just did a remaster where they put it out. It was the same exact game, just better, frames per second and resolution, essentially. And then about a year later, they come out with the actual remake, where I think they even kept all the same voice lines and stuff, but that was like the ground up. We actually remade all the models and everything. It's like, just make everything available. Let the audience decide.
Yeah, don't pull a Sonic Origins where you take all the original games off the store and make it that Origins is the only available option. Yeah. And that wasn't it. That's not even a good like collection of the games, because it was like extremely broken at launch, and even now it still has freaking issues.
Well, and it's honestly why I don't mind the Final Fantasy VII remake, even though it does shit on a bunch of the story of the original. It's like, well, at least they bothered to make the original available. Like I said, I go back and play it, experience that whole story for the first time. Awesome. And I can choose whether or not to play the third part of that remake. It's like, just give the audience the choice. And this is one thing where I will crap on Lucas a little bit. It's like whenever you're doing your special editions, have the special editions and also have the original cut. You should have had them both available this whole time.
Well, he did that in like the 2006 DVD set.
Yeah, I had it, but that was like very like boxed in. They didn't like have it fill the whole screen even whenever you and I got like the despecialized editions and shit, so I don't really care that much at this point.
I kind of don't care. I have the 2006 editions. I'm fine. It doesn't bother me as much.
Heavy story, and we're gonna get the choice that we always get with like the Mass Effect games or with
KOTOR. I doubt it, considering they have the Mass Effect 3 guy. I'm pretty sure they're going to pull another Mass Effect 3 where nothing matters at the end.
Yeah, well, and the more recent BioWare shit is basically like you can be a slightly snarky nice person or you can be a very nice person. It's not like legitimate like early Mass Effect where you can punch people in the face and shut off their recorders and everything and be like a legitimate piece of shit as far as the choices go.
Or KOTOR where you can make a Wookiee strangle his partner because of a life debt.
There you go.
I like the asshole options on KOTOR.
Yeah, more modern BioWare is more like, oh, we can't have the player be too bad, so we just have to have them be like slightly more rude but still nice.
Like, as much as I love playing the good guy, it is fun to play the villain sometimes.
Yeah, and it should just be a choice.
In the Old Republic, my Sith warrior is a fucking asshole.
Because a lot of times, like people do multiple playthroughs. Like you'll do the asshole playthrough, and you'll be like, "Oh, what's the other side of the coin look like?" And you'll try it out the other way.
All right, let's wrap this up. We got one last video.
You know, the log line for this game is your journey to the light or darkness. No, so of course there's going to be those elements in this game. We haven't seen too much of it.
Whether you sleep with a white guy or a black guy, gotcha. Your journey to the light or darkness.
Also, again, we barely saw anything. What are you on about?
Those elements in this game. We haven't seen too much of it. But
we haven't seen anything!
Well, for these people, PR statements equals fact. So they will happily, like, whatever the developer said, like, you'll get a choice between light and dark, and it'll be very much a spiritual successor. They're just like, they just regurgitate it. And it's just like, oh, this is 100% fact. Just believe them. It's not like they're trying to sell you a game or anything.
God, I just wish these shills were, shilling was just not a thing. Because
they could actually think.
Who takes these people seriously? Like, honestly.
Shills.
I wonder if, since it's canon, they're going to do some not damage control, but they're gonna.
It's gonna be fake Star Wars canon. We all know that. My Shepard can be utterly ruthless in 1 and 2 to the point that he doesn't care about his squad mates and civilian lives. But in Mass Effect 3, he now feels bad about some child that died. Oh yeah, all of these people that die, that's completely fine. But oh no, you killed the wrong person, and all of a sudden you feel bad.
I've had it with your disingenuous insertions and punches.
Hey Yasin, welcome to the stream. It's almost like the FNAF, the one you should not have killed situation, except even dumber.
Try to rectify
it up.
What was established in KOTOR and KOTOR 2, and in general, like the Old Republic era with SOTOR, because a lot of the dichotomy between the light and the dark was muddled or muddied. Just not a lot to go on, but we're Star Wars fans.
Okay, of course, you don't give any direct explanation.
Yeah,
for
that
why.
was incredibly vague. It's just like
we're Star Wars fans. No, you're fucking not. You're a Disney shills.
Like, if you were actually fans, you could, just actually give an example of the light and the dark being muddled. Like, if you're going to say something like Revan, it's like Revan didn't exactly have a choice with coming back to the light, at first, because he was freaking brainwashed. Or, they had to give him amnesia because they had to reconstruct his mind. Like, come on.
Classic JRPG protagonist problem. It's like, I don't remember anything.
Joe's K8.
Yeah, but at least he remembered everything by the end.
Freaking hyped. I saw a Jedi with a couple of guys, and then we're going to what looks to be an ancient ark that resembles Rakatan technology. And
ark? That didn't look like the ark from the Transformers 87 cartoon. It's not crashed into the side of a volcano.
Or the ark from Halo.
Yeah, well, when I think ark and refer to a spaceship, it's always Transformers.
It's one of those establishing shots where you're like, I don't care. It's Star Wars. That looks cool.
I love.
Oh my god!
Really? Just like a landscape shot, as long as it has Star Wars pasted onto it, you're going to be impressed with it.
There has to be more to it than that. Like, Disney's aesthetic for Star Wars just doesn't look like Star Wars anymore. Like, the opening shot of the ship flying for space didn't look like Star Wars.
It's it's that easy to impress them. You just show a picture of a mountain and then put a little lightsaber on it somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, look at that! That's amazing." Star Wars epic.
I hope KOTOR remake doesn't become fake canon. Well, assuming that that's even still off the ground, because I heard somewhere that project got axed.
The Mass Effect game so much, but one of the other single-player narrative RPG games that I love that has had a massive amount of success is the Cyberpunk 2077.
Well, that's not a series. That's one game. First of all, it's not a series.
And Cyberpunk 2077 was a disaster.
Yeah, they couldn't get their game running at launch. PlayStation literally took it off the store because it was so fucking broken, and they don't offer refunds for shit. But they're like, you know what, guys, we'll give you this one. This is pretty bad.
Like, or it's like, oh, we have like one of the most in-depth character creators, and the game's in first person.
Yeah, you get to select your dong size because that's so important.
And if they can bring some of the sensibilities of that, like the freedom with which you can play the game and attack certain missions,
certain missions. That's a new one. I didn't know you could attack a mission. The game is fixed. Yeah, it's fixed, all right, as in completely rigged.
It's a key element, even back in the Outcast days, just not. It was limited. It was limited, but if they can bring back that with the rich storytelling, and hope.
When he said Outcast, was he referring to Jedi Outcast?
Yeah, I think he was talking about Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, right?
Don't you dare invoke its name! I love that game.
Name out your fucking mouth.
Dark Forces and Jedi Academy in general is really good.
Yeah, they are. Like, you're never going to get that level of quality again. Damn, John's falling asleep.
Ooh.
You
can actually, I'm thinking how we could have a female shepherd or a male shepherd. Maybe they'll go that where they're both fully voice acted.
They better.
But I do want full voice acting because I need that as a driving emotional beat.
Really?
Oh my God.
That's going to be your bar if they have full voice acting. You'll be like, yes, we did it, guys. 10 out of 10.
KOTOR didn't have voice acting for Revan, yet it's still one of the greatest Star Wars games of all time. One of the greatest RPGs of all time.
Yeah. Well, this actually goes to the the whole like graphics don't matter thing. It's like I always say this with like a lot of modern games, they will have voice acting and they'll have fully 3D models and everything. And you get less emotion than like some of the old games where like I guess they were 3D models too, but you get like they'll like do body motions to convey the emotion, and they don't even have lips. They just have like pasted on eyes because the graphics weren't good enough. And you're just getting text boxes, and you get more emotion and character development than all these games that are like have more production value now. You get,
the sky's the limit.
Invested.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's just a teaser, but damn it, I'm all in.
You're
Of
all
course
in.
he is.
Wow, you're gonna pay full price for that. All right, cool.
Oh, he's not just gonna pay full price. He's gonna pull a JJ plagiarisms and buy the deluxe edition.
Need that.
He's gonna get early access.
Reading is hard. Chrono Trigger is still one of the best JRPGs ever. No voice acting.
You know what? I'll give him credit if he actually fucking pays for it to like try and get the views or whatever. If he's gifted it, then fuck him.
All right, one last. I don't know. Should we do this or should we save this for another stream? I don't know.
I think we maybe save it because it's about 2:30 a.m.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll probably save this for next. I'll save this for next week, guys. I'm sorry.
It ain't a short video
but-
either. Is the thing. If it
Yeah,
were like a
it's
5-minute
22
one, I'd be like,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
maybe we
I
can
do
it.
think maybe covering Screen Crush was a little bit. I shouldn't have done that.
The cringe is too intense. You got to pick out every little bit with him.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. If you like what you see here today, please hit the like button and subscribe. And please subscribe to John Gets Gaming's channel. Link is in the description below. And parting thoughts, anyone?
Get that poor dog out of that strange man's fake Blockbuster store, whatever he's trying to make.
Another dog gate.
Yeah, save the dog along with Filoni's and sex planes. You gotta
And
save
JJ
all the dogs.
plagiarism.
Yeah, you gotta save them all. You gotta save them all. And Hassan Piker.
Okay. Solar, any parting thoughts?
I mean, as for Star Wars, Fate of the Old Republic, I mean, they're gonna it's gonna be just like Thrawn and Rebels versus the actual Thrawn.
Yeah.
What? Everything went according to my plan. I don't know why you think I'm not the real Thrawn. Just because I lose every time to a bunch of teenagers.
All right. This has been awesome. This has been Awesomecast 29. You are watching Brandon the Awesome. Until next time, stay awesome. See you guys. Oh, wait, I got to end the stream first. I can't leave the studio.